Let us now begin with Aries ascendants and try and understand what these energies are depicting and what are some of the events that you could expect, certain predictions that I'd like to make, certain things which you could expect, your highs and lows, ups and downs, and at the same time, certain houses that are getting activated, certain houses which need your attention, where you can expect some good results, where you can expect some challenges. This is going to be the most unique video wherein I'm looking at Saturn, Jupiter, and Rahu Ketu's transit. So Saturn in Pisces, it really encourages you to put yourself in spiritual practices, a lot of introspection, a deeper connection with your inner self, and of course, increasing your emotional intelligence, emotional awareness. See, the key for you is to become more self aware. Saturn is your 10th lord, the lord of your 10th house, your karmesha. It rules your profession, it rules your work. So, regardless, its transit in the 12th house is indicating that you have to spend a lot of time in increasing your self awareness pertaining to your workplace, increasing your awareness about other people as well. This could be your friends, this could be those people who are opposite to you. So, you have a need of doing a SWOT analysis for yourself. Understand your key strengths, opportunity areas. What are some of those things where you need to improve, certain things that need more focus, and at the same time, what are certain threats that could be there for you? The more deeper you go, as far as introspection is concerned, as far as self-awareness is concerned, the key is to understand your strengths, which is pertaining to your skills, which is pertaining to your workplace, which are pertaining to your competencies, and how you could bring in the best of your abilities to navigate workplace related change, because change is inevitable for those people who are looking forward to moving outside of their homeland as far as work related project is concerned, or movement for a longer period of time. Could be a particularly favorable transit if you work with people from different cultures or different parts of the world. In case you have a strongly disposed Jupiter in your chart, this period is going to favor you. So you're likely to get favors from those people who from a different culture. If you work in a multinational setup, this could be extremely favorable for you. These are the energies of Shani. These are the energies of Saturn, which you need to understand. Whichever house it transits, initially, it brings in a lot of coldness as far as matters related to that house is concerned. So you would feel a sense of isolation between May through June. You could feel a sense of isolation because of these changes. You might want to isolate yourself, or you might want to introspect more, and you might want to be reserved. So this could have an impact on your relationship. So from a relationship point of view, this time period needs a lot of focus because Saturn's making a seventh aspect on your sixth house. So it is making a huge desire on matters pertaining to the sixth house, which is 12th from your seventh house. So your relationship needs a lot of focus. This is where Jupiter is going to bestow you. Jupiter is going to bless you as far as relationship matters are concerned because it has its fifth aspect on your seventh house. So from a career point of view, this particular transit, this particular year is quite certainly bringing a change. Okay, there is change that is coming, which is inevitable because Saturn is making a transit in your 12th house, Jupiter is making a transit in your third house. So these two planets are jointly aspecting your ninth house of journeys, long distance travel, higher spiritual education, fortune, and bhagya. So one thing is certain that bhagya is quite supportive. Change is inevitable. So from a movement perspective, from a journey perspective, if you want to settle abroad, and if this could be potentially a permanent settlement as well, if your dasha antardasha is supportive, you need to be change ready. You need to take care of your relationship. You need to have a sense of balance. You do not need to isolate yourself when it comes to your partner. This is where you need to step into the situation and take things in your own hands. See, Saturn is aspecting your second house by its third as special aspect, and your ninth house by its 10th special aspect. Okay, these are the aspects of growth. Saturn's drishti, third and 10th, is upachaya drishti, which indicates growth. So you could expect growth pertaining to second house matters, which is family wealth. So you could have an increase in your family, you could have more focus towards your family, changes pertaining to your house, pertaining to your family. And this could also involve movement along with the family. Wealth related matters, you would need to do a lot of financial management because Saturn's aspecting your second house. Jupiter is aspecting your 11th house, where Rahu will be making a transit. So this is a time to do a lot of wealth management, right? So your second, 11th houses are pretty much active. Jupiter is going to ensure that it keeps Rahu under check. The time that it is making a transit in the sign of Gemini, it is going to ensure that it keeps Rahu under check. It keeps your desires under control. But this year calls for better financial management, better decisions as far as savings and investments are concerned. You are also likely to go through some sort of change in your eating habits or your dietary routine. This is where Saturn is going to compress or, of course, force you to bring in some discipline. So your 3 and 9 axis is pretty active. So let's talk about Jupiter here, okay, which is your 9th and the 12th lord. Most important planet for you, it becomes your Bhagyesha. It is making a transit in your third house. Third house, Jupiter is considered Maran Karak, or it is like a death-like position. All right. So Jupiter is losing its significance. So you will need a lot of focus, very conscious focus. But this is opening doors for learning. It will enhance your communication skills. So whichever house Jupiter is transiting, it is the largest planet, it expands the significance matters pertaining to that house. So it will expand communication, it will make you more engaging, it will make you involve yourself in conversations, and at the same time, it will make you more receptive towards learning. You need a mentor during this time. You need a guru, someone who could give you a guru upadesha, someone who you could look up to, someone who could be giving you a wise message or a wise advice, and that advice will not hurt you. So make sure that you reach out to these people. Make sure that you take the correct advice. See, this Jupiter is aspecting your seventh house. So from a relationship point of view, this is supporting. In case for those people who are looking forward to getting married, getting into a new relationship, and of course, taking things forward, this could be a potentially favorable time or a favorable year because third house Jupiter is going weak as far as its strength is concerned. But its aspects are very good because it is aspecting your seventh house of relationship, partnership, marriage, business. So, in case you have a business, you could expect some profits, you could expect some movement, you could expect some good changes. By its seventh aspect, it is aspecting your ninth house of Bhagya. And I've made a heart here because this is being aspected jointly by Jupiter and Saturn. So the double transit aspect is on your ninth house, which will need particular attention between May through October. This particular house is absolutely active. You could expect travel, you could expect journeys, you could expect Bhagya or your fortune to support you. You could expect support from your father or your guru. Make sure that you reach out to them. Make sure that you improve your relationship. This will also put a greater focus on your dharma, on your religion, and what you were to do, how you would protect your dharma, how you would use the wisdom of Jupiter and the discipline of Saturn as far as your dharma is concerned, as far as your religion is concerned, and how you could be the messenger of your belief system, and of course, who you believe in. Jupiter is also aspecting your 11th house by its ninth aspect. Okay, so Jupiter's fifth aspect determines it is all about learning. So, learning pertaining to matters of seventh house. You will consciously learn how to improve your relationship. You will consciously learn how to do business, how to make better decisions when it comes to partnership. And you will apply in the 11th house. So application will be related to gains. Application will be related to building stronger ties. What you should do, that should get you recognition, that should get you some sort of visibility. So you would like to do a lot of branding activities, a lot of communication, a lot of thinking out of the box, and of course, increase your database and at the same time increase your influence towards other people. So I always say Jupiter's placement in the third house is not good. Its transit is a little bit challenging, but at the same time, its aspects are great. You would need to spend conscious amount of energy in leveraging and channelizing this wisdom. Please remember, change is inevitable. It will be a forced change for you. You need to be prepared for it. And if you live outside of your home country, this could very well be a situation for you to invest in real estate outside of your homeland, because this is also something which we see from the third house, because this is fourth from your 12th house. 12th house represents foreign lands. Fourth from this house represents real estate assets that you own outside of your home country. So this could be a potentially favorable time. You might reach out to your co-borns, your siblings for each other's support. Make sure that you're there for each other. Make sure that you're there to support each other. Now let's talk about Rahu and Ketu in Aquarius and Leo, which is activating your 11 and 5 axis. So this is the axis which is getting activated. Fifth house is all about your future. 11th house is all about gains. So your gains and future access is pretty much getting activated. We also see friends from the 11th house. We see progress, kingdom, and rise of status from the 5th house because this is one of the Rajya Bhavas. And this really urges you to create a sense of balance between friendship and romantic relationships because we see love, unconditional love from the 5th house. We see friendships from 11th house. We also see enmity from the 11th house, but this is not your enmity. This talks about your enemies or your bigger, tough opposition that you have because this is also 6th from the 6th house. It wants you to promote a sense of harmony and understanding as far as social interactions are concerned. So Rahu in the 11th house can make you a social butterfly. Saturn's energy are going to suppress you, so you will have shifting tendencies. At one point in time, you would like to become antisocial. The very next day, you would want to be a social butterfly. You would want to mingle around with people. You would want to expand your network and your horizon as well. So this transit is particularly favorable for you as far as Rahu is concerned because Rahu co-rules the sign of Aquarius and it is making a transit in your 11th house itself in its own sign of Aquarius. So you would need to have some sort of technical upskilling, some sort of technical development skill sets is something which you could look forward to. Ketu is your co-8th lord. It rules a lot of suddenness in life, sudden changes. So as far as future is, be prepared for changes. There could be sudden changes. This will also increase your interest in Vedic sciences, in astrology, any other hidden subjects or sciences. It will make you more inclined towards these subjects. So make sure that you're spending your energies in learning more about Jyotish or Vedic Jyotish or sciences or some sort of research related subjects, which could be quite good for you. So from a knowledge point of view, this is really supporting you. And when your ascendant Lord Mars, so Mars currently is transiting in the sign of Cancer. Sure, it will be in Leo, then it will go through these houses. And at the same time, when Rahu and Saturn will be there, Mars will come in contact with Rahu. Mars is also going to come in contact with Saturn, of course, through the year. So these will be triggering points for you. These will be important points for you, particularly when Mars is making a transit in the sign of Libra. This is some time which you need to think through. It will be bestowed by the fifth aspect of Jupiter. So this is going to be a very opportunistic time for you as far as relationship matters are concerned, as far as favors from opposite sex are concerned, and as far as personal transformation is concerned, because your decision making will be quite positive during that time when Mars is making a transit in Libra. Please check out those dates for you. These are some of the opportunity times for you making some important decisions for 2025. Rahu does well in the 11th house in case you have a strongly disposed Saturn in your chart. So depending on its placement and the kind of dasha antardasha that you're running, Ketu from a node's point of view is not considered very auspicious as far as fifth house or ninth house or first house is concerned because these are triangle houses. The remedy here is in Jupiter. So you chant mantras related to Jupiter. Worship Lord Shiva. Use the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya to strengthen and channelize this Ketu, or you could use the simple mantra Om Gurave Namah. So the remedy here lies in Jupiter and also Sun. So you need to check Sun's placement in your chart, which is your fifth lord, and that is how it would determine how this Ketu's transit for you in the sign of Leo. Ketu generally does very well in Leo because it's a fiery planet. It has a lot of fire and it's in a fire sign. So you will have a lot of aggressive energies. You need to channelize those aggressive energies appropriately. You need mantras to calm these energies, to tame these energies of Ketu, and at the same time, how you could channel for the best of your future. So this is how 2025 energies look for you, right? So once again, Saturn, your 10th, 11th lord making a transit in the 12th house. Expect changes as far as friends-related matters are concerned, your recognition, your workplace. Jupiter, your 9th and 12th lord house, makes a transit in the 3rd house. Expect start of a journey, starting something new, focusing a lot on communication, improving relationship with your siblings, and of course, a lot more extra efforts that you would need to protect the significations of Jupiter. Rahu and Ketu are activating your 11th and 5th cycle, which is the axis, which is pretty prominent and pretty beneficial as far as gains or material life is concerned, particularly between May through October when Jupiter is keeping this Rahu under check. And of course, it will expand some of those significations. One thing that you have to be mindful of is any illegitimate ways or means of making money, or there's no shortcut to success. So be honest, be ethical. This is the test of your ethics during this time. So do not lose on it. Otherwise, there could be severe consequences. You will have expansion to third house matters, which is your efforts, communication. The more efforts you put, and of course, you will have results. Learning is related to your business, application to your 11th house. Saturn is certainly focusing a lot as far as family and wealth matters are concerned. And at the same time, your Bhagya is being supported during this time by the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn. And I wish you a very amazing and a blessed 2025. This is the year of your ascendant Lord. This is the year of Mars. And I hope this is a Mangalya period for you. And may Mangal bless you in the year 2025. This is a prominent year for you. This is the year of change. My best wishes. God bless you. Now let us talk about Taurus ascendants and what is happening. This is one of the most unique videos. 3 prominent transits of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu. See, these transits take a long period of time. Saturn makes a transit once every 2.5 years, and Rahu and Ketu make a transit once in an year and a half or 18 months. And Jupiter makes a transit once in 12 months. This is the year of change because whenever these transits happen, it does trigger life events, matters pertaining to the lordship, and of course their placement. Most importantly, the kind of dasha antadasha that you're running through the year will play a very important role. Taurus ascendants. Let's start with Saturn, which is your 9th and the 10th lord. It is a yoga karaka planet for you and moving in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces. So now this Saturn promotes a lot of community engagement for you, okay? And it will make you more collaborative and think about long-term planning as far as your career is concerned, because Saturn's having a direct 7th aspect of desire on your 5th house. Future pursuits pertaining to 9th house matters, pertaining to 10th house matters, and of course 11th house matters. So these 3 houses are particularly getting activated during this time. Workplace change is inevitable. So you need to plan for long term as far as your career is concerned. So just a few months of planning and where you were to maybe be in the next few months will not work out well for you. At least plan for the next 2 to 3 years in terms of where you wish to see. Sit down next 2 to 3 months. This is quite a favorable time for you because any decisions that you take within the next 2 or 3 months is going to give you long lasting results. And this is the kind of message which Saturn is giving you in the sign of Pisces because it is forming a yoga. It is your ninth lord and 10th lord. Okay, it rules Bhagya and it also rules karma for you. It rules your fortune. It also rules your profession. It is making a transit in the house of gains. This is where we see gains from, right? And this Saturn, besides making a direct 7th aspect on your 5th house, it is aspecting your ascendant. Okay, it is aspecting your ascendant here. It is aspecting your 1st house by its 3rd special aspect, and it is aspecting your 8th house by its 10th special aspect. These are the 2 special aspects for Saturn have, which are the aspects of growth. So one thing is quite prominent in your case. Things will favor you. Things will happen the way you want them to happen, pertaining to your workplace, pertaining to your higher learning. However, it will not happen when you want them to happen. There will be a little bit of a delay here because Saturn, Shani is what Saturn is called, which means delay, which means you have to wait. You have to have plenty of patience. You have to have plenty of perseverance. Of course, success is guaranteed as far as workplace endeavors are concerned. Recognition is highly likely in case you have a strongly and well-disposed Jupiter. You could have success. Apparently, Jupiter's transit is giving you a dhan yoga for this year. So, wealth creating opportunities are going to be there. Recognition at work is going to be there, but this is going to be delayed. There could be promotion in case your dasha antadasha is supportive, but that might not happen when you want it to happen or when you're looking forward to. There could be a little bit of delayed time. So the next 2.5 years are quite prominent as far as career growth is concerned. Saturn is a functional benefit for you, but it's a natural malefic. And it does very well in the 11th house. It is the best placement for Saturn. So, but this will come with certain terms and conditions. You will have to wait. Transformation is inevitable. I'm also going to talk about relationship. I'm also going to talk about a little bit on the health point of view, and also going to talk about your wealth and what are the kind of opportunities which you could make. But understand there's a heart here in the 8th house. Both Saturn and Jupiter are aspecting. Jupiter is aspecting this house by its 7th aspect of desire, which is only a 50% aspect. Saturn aspecting by the 10th aspect of growth, which is a 100% drishti, 100% aspect. So, of course, it is bestowing longevity. It is bringing in transformation. It is supporting your transformation during this time. So, that is something which you could expect to be supportive, but everything will be delayed. There will be a constant focus on yourself, your body, your intelligence. You would want to learn, you would want to do a lot of research. Change is inevitable. There could be sudden events, there could be sudden changes which you need to cope up with because your 8th house will be pretty much active between May through October of 2025. So, this is where you would need to protect yourself by certain remedies. So if you use mantras either related to Saturn because it is aspecting your 5th house, or Mercury, who rules your 5th house, who is your 5th Lord. So either use mantras related to Lord Vishnu, a simple mantra, Om Vishnave Nama, or Om Namo Narayanaya, or you could worship Lord Hanuman or use the Bij mantra of Shani or Saturn during this time. You can also use Buddha Bij mantra as well. This will depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha, and accordingly, we would need to see the right remedy for you to channelize the energies of this Saturn during this time. Jupiter, which is your 8th and the 11th Lord, is making a transit in the 2nd house. So 11th Lord making a transit in the 2nd house is bringing financial growth, financial prosperity, new opportunities as far as wealth related matters are concerned, as far as accumulation of income is concerned. So you could have a secondary source of income. You could have hidden sources of wealth, hidden sources of income as well. That could be pretty much favorable for you. You could have some benefits as far as tax related matters are. If you develop your skills, it will have a direct impact on income. If skills development is the key, you need to learn about the new skills, you need to learn about new latest technology, you need to learn about AI, you need to learn about automation, because this Rahu Maharaj is making a transit in your 10th house, which demands technical upskilling, as Jupiter, of course, is making a transit in your 2nd house, which is favorable from an income point of view. So if you develop your skills, you're likely to see a rise. So Jupiter is the significator of the 2nd house, and it is making a transit in the 2nd house. So from that aspect, it is quite a favorable transit. It is forming a Dhan Yoga, which is there in place. It is also aspecting its own sign, the sign of Sagittarius. And this is where it is going to focus and bring in some sort of inheritance opportunities as well. So Jupiter's 5th special aspect is happening on your 6th house. So 5th special aspect of Jupiter is about learning. So there will be learning related to 6th house matters, your intelligence, your daily routines, your depths and diseases, and of course, focus a lot on health and well-being. How you could learn more about well-being and make this a part of your daily life. So this time period needs a lot of focus on wellness, a lot of focus on self-care, a lot of focus on fixing everything that you do in a day-to-day basis. So in case you're wanting to take a loan, let's say to buy a house or to buy a car or for anything, this could be a potentially favorable time for you in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. So you could go for loans, you could go for debts during this time. This will give you a repaying capacity, and this will also help you maybe expand your business or, of course, buy something that you've been looking forward to. And particularly if it is related to real estate, Ketu's transit can also be supportive for you as far as fourth house matters are concerned, in case you have a favorable and strongly disposed sun in your chart. Now, Jupiter's ninth special aspect is on your 10th house, which will, of course, ensure that you apply what you learn on a day-to-day basis at your workplace. So this is where the application is happening at your workplace, in your job or your business. This is where you have Rahu. So Jupiter ensures that it keeps Rahu under check. Rahu is making a transit in your 10th house. It's your co-10th lord and making this transit. So workplace related change is inevitable, and this could bring you a lot of growth opportunities. And particularly between May through October, you could expect some positive developments. You could expect some positive changes. This will bring you a sense of consciousness. As your speech is, you will be very conscious about what you say, how you say. You will have a lot of wisdom in your speech, a lot of experience that would, of course, foster your speech and drive those conversations accordingly. So make sure that you make use of Jupiter's energy. It's going to make you a lot more humble, right? A lot more grounded. In spite of maybe achieving something in life, you need to be grounded, right? You will also have a sense of insecurity for the next few months. Insecurities pertaining to your wealth, insecurities pertaining to your home, also insecurities pertaining to your workplace. So these are some of the energies that you need to counter through remedies, because your 4 and 10 axis is, your 10 and 4 axis is pretty active by the transit of Rahu and Ketu, who are going to change signs in May. Rahu is going to enter Aquarius, Ketu is going to enter Leo. So this will create a sense of challenge in balancing your personal life and your professional life. We call it work-life balance, but it's a very cliche term, okay? You need to generally prioritize family matters, prioritize self-care, prioritize your own well-being, your own personal growth and development besides your professional commitments. So don't indulge yourself too much into work. Avoid overcommitment, avoid being, overtly indulge as far as work related matters are concerned, that you miss out on your family time, you miss out on your me time or a self-care time. Otherwise, it could be extremely challenging year for you as far as increasing levels of stress is concerned, because that is generally going to increase for you. So you will find it very hard to balance that out. You could also shift away from your homeland in case you live, around your homeland. So this period could make you make a move to maybe a different place or somewhere far away from your homeland. If not, you could make some changes. Your home is concerned. One of the remedies for you would be to declutter your home, declutter your house. Um, in case you work from home, you have like a remote work setting. So you have to be cautious during this time, right? While being on Zoom calls, while being on Teams call, of course, online meetings. So make sure that you declutter your workspace in case you work from home. Taurus ascendants naturally have a karma as far as their home and office to be, the same, right? If it is the same, it is good for them. I always advise Taurus ascendants to have a nice office at their home as well, besides what they do. Sun is the ruler of the fourth house, and it is the giver of resources. It is the giver of initiation, of course, starting something new. Venus's transit is going to play a very important role when it comes in contact with Jupiter, when it comes in contact with Rahu and Saturn, all through this year. So these could be activation points, triggering points, from a workplace related point of view. Your health and well-being will have renewed focus, because Jupiter is having a fifth drishti on your sixth house. So health is going to be strong. Immunity is going to be strong during this year, right? Saturn's in the 11th house. So you will have very good eating habits, which are going to increase your immunity, which are going to change your lifestyle. Remember one thing, that Jupiter's transit in the second house could bring in a kind of sweet tooth in you. So make sure that you avoid a lot of sugar, make sure that you avoid a lot of oily food. I mean, anything in balance is always good, right? Ghee is good, but again, if it is quantified, if it is in balance, this is something which you have to be mindful of during this time. So a sense of balance routine or a balanced diet is something which you need as far as 2025 year is concerned. And these are very basic things to understand. And this is the kind of change that you will have. You'll have a lot of focus on your personal wellness and personal well-being. So I see it as a very strong year from health related matters are concerned. If you've been going through certain ailment or certain health issues, it is going to improve in case your dasha antardasha is supportive, because Jupiter's transit is quite supportive during this time, which will focus a lot on your immunity and also in overcoming certain enemies, overcoming certain competition as far as your life is concerned. But everything will come slow. Everything will come after a little bit of a delay. This is the energy of Saturn. This is the message of Saturn. Whenever it is aspecting your ascendant, it is, of course, going to somehow make you look like a cold person to other people. But that's okay. If you were to isolate yourself for self introspection, for reflection, you can do that. It is not a bad thing to do. It will make you a strong person. It is going to help you in making better decisions for yourself to the best of your abilities and better decisions as far as work related matters, work related pursuits are concerned. And again, Jupiter's ninth aspect at your work. So anything that you learn, you're going to apply at your workplace to the best of your abilities. From a work related point of view, I see growth between May through October. Before that, it could be a little bit slow. You could feel a stagnation, time period, but things are going to pick up. So you better start planning for it. From a relationship point of view, I do not see a lot of issues there because Jupiter is aspecting your eighth house, which is the Mangalya power, and Saturn's also aspecting your eighth house. So, eighth house is about what you do, how you protect your relationship. It's about consumption of a seventh house. So, second house is what we consume and how we utilize, and of course, how we grow onto it. And both Jupiter and Saturn are aspecting your eighth house. So Saturn demands a lot of discipline as far as your house related matters are concerned. Of course, Jupiter is going to expand those significations, but the placement of Mars is quite vital for you. The transits of Mars are quite important for you. The next few months, I do see a sense of challenge as far as relationship matters, particularly till mid of 2025. You have to be careful of your relationship. You could have a sense of isolation, you could have a sense of separation, you could have a sense of anxiety as well. So this is where you have to be mindful. But mid 2025 onwards, relationship matters are going to significantly improve. You are going to strengthen it by the virtue of your wisdom. Make sure that you use your maturity here, right? Be mature, be kind, be understanding, right? Look up to Saturn and also Jupiter, right? Who are protecting the eighth house, who are protecting you from sudden changes, who are protecting you to make better decisions and to be able to cope up with those changes, to bring a sense of harmony as far as your love life is concerned. And this is what you need to protect during this time. I wish you the best and have a very amazing year. God bless you. Let us now talk about Gemini ascendant and what's happening. In this unique video, I'm going to talk about three key transits. These transits really trigger events. Life events are triggered by these transits, and of course, it activates cyclic energies, it activates certain houses, some of the time periods and months that you have to take care of, and at the same time, what you could expect, what are certain remedies for you. The three key transits, Saturn, Jupiter, and Rahu and Ketu. So Saturn, sign of Pisces towards the end of March. And this particular transit really encourages you as far as career advancement is concerned. So it will make you responsible towards your job, towards your career. It will push your limits as far as work is. Saturn is the significator of labor. And when the power of labor is making a transit in your 10th house, so this is a remarkable time that will not come for the next 30 years. So if you're in the middle of your life and if you're going through significant, career upheaval and of course transformations, this particular transit, in case your dasha antardasha is supportive, could give you some very breakthrough career and professional opportunities that could have a long lasting impact. Saturn is your Bhagyesha. It also rules your eighth house, which is the house of longevity, which is the house of suddenness, sudden ups and downs. But at the same time, it is the lord of your fortune. It is your Bhagyesha. It is your ninth lord. And when it is making a transit in the 10th house, it is one of the most powerful Raj yogas in transit, which is the Dharma Karma Yoga. Wherein at the same time, the core ninth lord Rahu is also making a transit in the ninth house. I'm in May. So your 9 and 3 axis, the axis of journeys, will also be pretty much active as far as from a cyclical point of view. So your 8th and ninth lord is making a transit in the 10th house. So, what does this mean for you? This means that you have to put all your attention, energy, your knowledge, wisdom, and higher learning at your workplace. So, you have been able to learn a lot. You will continue to learn. So, next 3 months, January through March, is an excellent time for you to enroll yourself in a course, upskill yourself, go for higher learning, and get some message, blessings, or teachings from your mentor, from your teacher, from your guru, or from your father. And that is going to have a significant impact as far as your work is. Saturn makes a transit in the 10th house. So, Saturn is also one of the significators of the 10th house because it is the natural Karam Karak. It is the natural ruler of the 10th sign of Capricorn. And at the workplace, it represents labor. So it represents all the hard tasks, all the hard duties, all the things that we do on a day to day basis, where the power of labor is involved. This Saturn is going to be aspecting your 12th house by its third special aspect. So, the third special aspect that Saturn has is the aspect of growth. It is the Upachaya aspect. This will increase your spiritual quotient and, of course, make you walk cautious steps towards self actualization, towards self realization. So, self reflection is the key, self discovery is the key. So, the more you understand yourself, your workplaces and your strengths, your opportunity areas, things that you're good at, and how you can build on your strengths would be the key factor in determining your success. So, your expenses need some sort of curtailment during this time, right? Because that could increase. So, you could have growth in your expenditure. If you incur expenditure on good deeds, on good things, on dharma, on religion, on, of course, spiritual purposes, that is good for you, on your family. But if these expenditure are for, of course, illegitimate means and at the same time, certain, ambiguous things in your life, and at the same time, your impulsive decision making as far as buying is purchasing is could, of course, could be difficult for you. So you have to curtail your expenditure. You have to focus on saving more. Saturn will also be aspecting your fourth house by its seventh aspect, which is a mere 50% drishti. For those people who are wanting to settle outside of the homeland, this could be a potentially favorable time to get you some sort of permanent residency. Because the fourth house is your home, 10th house is opposite from the fourth house. So we also see movement on a permanent basis, which is shifting away from your home. Okay, because it is the opposite from your fourth house. Now, Saturn will also be aspecting your seventh house by its 10th aspect of growth. Jupiter will also be aspecting your seventh house by its seventh aspect of desire. So, this means there is constant focus, growth related to your relationship and business. Okay, so growth and business, as far as relationship is, so you have to leverage the energies of Saturn and Jupiter. So Saturn is hard work, Jupiter is wisdom. So discipline and wisdom coming together in your relationship. So this will, of course, in a way, put your focus back in harmony in relationships, in, of course, dealing and mending and resolving conflicts with people, those people who are opposite to you, and getting to have some sort of benefits. Their seventh house is absolutely very, very active between May through October during this double transit. While for a brief period, Jupiter will move in Cancer, and then it will also go retrograde back in the sign of Gemini. That is going to be the energies. So you must worship Lord Hanuman, and you must worship to channelize the energies of Mars. You must worship Lord Hanuman to channelize the energies of Saturn. And as and when Mercury or Lagna Lord will come in contact with Jupiter via transits with Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, you could expect some sort of trigger at a physical level as how these energies will be playing a role. So this is a significant transit for you. I mean, any remedies that would work for you would be either related to Jupiter or related to Venus. So mantras related to Venus, goddess Lakshmi, Durga, Shakti, or mantras of Shukra itself, or a simple mantra, Om Guruve Nama, or Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya would be quite excellent for you. One thing is that you might appear to be of cold nature to people who you work with. So make sure that you balance those energies. Make sure that you don't isolate yourself. Make sure that you don't appear to be a cold person. So be out there with people, mingle, network, and at the same time, demonstrate maturity in your communication, in your expression there. Jupiter, which is your seventh, and the 10th lord, it is also your Bhadakesha because it rules 7th house for Gemini ascendant. So it becomes a lot of obstacles. It also becomes a lot of relationship, a lot of marriage, harmony, business, and also your work, profession. So this is quite a significant transit for you. Once in 12 years, Jupiter comes in your ascendant. Please welcome Jupiter Guru Dev in your ascendant, where it gains directional strength, or it is Digbali. So two planets are making a transit in your Kendra houses, very powerful Kendra houses, first house and the 10th house. So it's quite a significant year for you. It enhances self-expression and creativity. This is what Jupiter does. It brings the power of wisdom. It will allow you to communicate your ideas with a lot of depth, with a lot of effectiveness, with also a lot of artistic pursuits because you have natural energies of Venus, which is your fifth house lord. Okay. And it will bring in a lot of wisdom. One thing which you have to be mindful of whenever Jupiter is transiting your ascendant, it creates expansion. So you have to watch your weight. You will have tendency to put on weight very quickly, very fast, get back on track with your routine to be able to lose weight. Because Saturn continues to make a transit in your 10th house. Okay, so this way it will be quite supportive for you and you will be able to cut down on your weight and have a healthy routine. But throughout the transit of Jupiter, you have to be very careful of what you eat, what you consume. Consume knowledge, consume wisdom, consume a lot of books, and of course, read a lot of books, journals, keep yourself up to date with what's happening in the world. This could be quite a optimum time for you to increase your knowledge, to increase your wisdom, and of course, leverage the power of Jupiter. Your 10th Lord making a transit in your ascendant is a Simhasana Yoga in transit. Workplace success growth is quite favorable. Condition you're running a favorable Dasha Antadasha. You must worship Lord Ganesha during this time. Because see, Jupiter is your Badikesha. It is your seventh Lord. Okay. So it is sitting in your ascendant. We call Gemini. Gemini is mapped to Lord Ganesha's name, which is Krishna Pingakshay. So Om Krishna Pingakshay Nama is the Mool mantra that you can chant. I'll repeat once again. Om Krishna Pingakshay Nama would be the excellent mantra to worship Lord Ganesha because one of the forms of Ganesha mapped to Mithun Lagna or Mithun Rashi is called Krishna Pingakshay. So use this mantra. Obstacles will reduce in your life and you will attract prosperity. You will attract wealth. You will attract good, meaningful work. Workplace relationships are also a key during this time. See, Jupiter's aspect while sitting in the Lagna, firstly, it gains directional strength. It is Digbali. There are blessings of Devata, there are blessings of Mahadev, there are blessings of Sadashiva during this time. So worship Mahadev, worship Sadashiva, worship Lord Shiva during this time. You need to welcome Jupiter in your ascendant and use the power, use the wisdom. And of course, it dates back to 12 years from now, and you could try and understand what kind of successes you had in life, what kind of path-breaking decisions you made. And of course, even if you're in your midlife, this is a significant day for you, right? Whenever Jupiter makes a transit in the ascendant. Now, this particular time, okay, yeah, there are also certain ages when this transit happens. Okay, so you have to take into account, those ages as well. And these are significant ages. Jupiter will make an aspect to your fifth house, which is a fifth special aspect. Okay, so learning related to fifth house matters. Creativity is going to increase. Your learning towards, more love and affection. Of course, you will be more affectionate towards other people. You will demonstrate a lot of compassion. So your love quotient will increase towards your partner, towards the opposite sex. Okay, love towards your children in case you have children. So there'll be a greater focus on children. There'll be a greater focus on building this guru shishya relationship with your children, which could be quite good for you. Fifth house is also the house of progress. So Jupiter will bring in new opportunities as far as future progress is concerned. The application will be in the ninth house, which is the ninth special aspect of Jupiter. So you will apply to increase your bhagya. And this is where Rahu is going to make a transit at the same time when Jupiter is making a transit in your lagna. Now, for about a year or so, Jupiter is going to have its ninth aspect on Rahu. So thankfully, when Jupiter is making a transit in Mithun Rashi, it is keeping Rahu under check. It is keeping Rahu under control because Jupiter is the only planet that can control Rahu, that can channelize the energies of Rahu. And any remedies related to Rahu either comes from Moon or it comes from Jupiter because that is the only planet that can channelize Rahu to make the right decisions for you, to create expansion in your life and good expansion. Expansion, not expansion of greed, but expansion of prosperity, expansion of bhagya, expansion of wealth of all kinds. Okay, so this is quite an important period for you. So you will apply to elevate your bhagya. You will apply in your journeys, in your travel. So any travel that you take could be quite fruitful for you. Go for higher learning, expand your horizon, try to learn as much as you can, depending on the placement of your Mercury, if it is in strength, if it is forming good yogas in your chart. This is a path breaking transit for you. And of course, your first house, seventh house, 10th house, and ninth house, these four houses are pretty much active during this time. Three Kendras and one important trinal house. So, without a doubt, this is quite a breakthrough time period for you. Start planning for it, start preparing for it, and may you have some good professional and as well as personal opportunities. Watch your weight, please. Otherwise, it could become quite detrimental for you. Now, another thing which Jupiter does while sitting in the ascendant is, in case you have a weak Jupiter, in case there are any other, uh, you know, bad yogas in your chart, any other misfortune, of course, combinations or not so good yogas, it makes a person believe that we know it all. So it brings in a kind of know it all attitude. It also brings in a sense of aggression, dominance. So this is something which you have to watch out for because there's a lot of power that Jupiter has. It has a lot of weight. So anything that you say will have a lot of weight. And of course, you would want to have your opinions heard. So don't try and be pushy towards other people. Keep your ego aside. Okay. Try and stay grounded because this is how Jupiter will work best for you. And do not let the power of knowledge increase your ego for bad. All right. This is something which you have to take care of during this time. Rahu and Ketu will be making a transit in Aquarius and Leo. So your 9th and 3 axis is pretty active during this time, which signifies journey, start of a journey, go on spiritual trips. This is an excellent year to do any sort of spiritual work, meditation, yoga, sadhana. There will be a lot of focus on education, higher education, Jyotish, astrology, higher sciences, applied sciences, I mean, artificial intelligence, technology, gamification, Gen AI. You talk about the kinds of knowledge that exists in the world, you would want to expand and, of course, learn everything. It brings spiritual growth. It, of course, is a motivating transit for you to expand your knowledge and at the same time engage in profound personal development. So you need your personality to develop with the energies of Jupiter, Saturn, and also Rahu. So certain growth aspects are needed. Ketu making a transit in your third house, your co-sixth lord making a transit in the third house will trigger change, will make you a little bit, go in a denial mode as far as change is concerned because Ketu likes to take a step back. Ketu wants to step away from the situation. Ketu is a very non-materialistic graha. And in your third house of efforts, Ketu would restrict efforts. So one thing that you do not need to shy away is for putting efforts. And depending on the position of Surya in your chart or Sun in your chart, this will of course be very important. And whichever planets Rahu and Ketu go over, as far as their transits are concerned, they do trigger events. But change is inevitable. Change in your daily routines, change in your daily life that is needed in your lifestyle. It calls for a lifestyle change. So Ketu definitely is triggering change, but that depends on your ongoing dasha antardasha. Rahu and Ketu are both very opposite energies, right? Rahu's head, Ketu is the body. Ketu hates Rahu because Ketu is non-materialistic, Rahu is materialistic. Rahu on the other side thinks that, oh, Ketu, I'm the head, you're the body, you're nothing without me, right? So I am the decision maker, I've got the brain, and you got to function as per what I say, but Ketu doesn't understand that. So Ketu takes a step back, Rahu takes a step forward. So this is the kind of conflicting situation which is there. You need a Guru Upadesha during this time, or you could have some sort of conflict with your Guru. So you need to be careful of that. You could have some sort of distance or difference of opinion as far as your siblings are concerned. So make sure that you're trying to establish credible relationship. Your communication will have an impact. So make sure you're expressive, make sure you're reaching out to people, make sure you're listening to other people, okay, during this time. And of course, it will trigger journeys, it will trigger foreign travel, it will trigger both long as well as short distance travel as well as journeys. And you could start something new in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, because the axis of journeys is pretty much active all throughout the year for you. Year of Mars, year of Mangal. Please worship Lord Hanuman, and I wish you the very best. Thank you. Now let us talk about Cancer Ascendant and what's happening with Cancer Ascendants. This is a unique video that I am making. The key transits of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu are a very unique way of making predictions and at the same time giving you some tips, some hints, and certain remedies. To all the students of this wonderful Jyotish community, we keep inspiring each other. Even I get inspired by a number of you, by a lot of you who are, of course, following me and at the same time who I look up to. Cancer ascendants, the natural fourth sign, the very compassionate sign ruled by Moon. So, firstly, I'd like to start with Jupiter's transit for you. Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter is your ninth lord. Okay, it is also your sixth lord. So it rules the sign of Pisces, it rules the sign of Sagittarius as well. It is your Bhagyesha. And this Jupiter has been making a transit in your 11th house. Around May 2025, it will move to your 12th house in the sign of Gemini. So your ninth lord is making a transit in the 12th house. Your sixth lord is also making a transit in the 12th house. Now, when sixth lord is making a transit here, this is creating a Viparita Yoga in transit. That means circumstances and situations could go difficult, could go tough. Eventually, you will rise. At the same time, when ninth lord is making a transit in the 12th house, which is the house of foreign lands, which is the house of places away from where you are, where you're physically present. Of course, it talks about making a move. It also talks about self-introspection. It talks about self-awareness, your self-actualization, getting a lot of mental clarity, your sleep, bed comforts, and at the same time, your deeper feelings. And your Bhagyesha, the ruler of Dharma, is making a transit there. So you could little bit deviate from your path of Dharma, deviate from your path of righteousness. And this is something which you have to hold on, which you have to stick to. You could have shifting tendencies. So you have to hold your Dharma. This is the key message for you. You need to understand other people's feeling as well, but you need to understand and appreciate your feelings. You have to take control, take charge of your emotions, take charge of your thoughts and feelings. Because what happens is, you need to work on changing your feeling, because when you change your feeling, the meaning changes. Okay, so from a physical manifestation point of view, it works very well for you. So look at the good in many different things that you do in life, in the spheres of life. Okay, Jupiter is a functional as well as natural benefit for you. In 12th house, it doesn't do that bad. One thing that you have to constantly do during this time is 12th house represent your feet. Keep your feet very clean and tidy. Uh, I mean, that's a very simple, straightforward remedy. Worship any god that you believe in, worship their feet, start from the feet first. And this is something, I mean, if you have a guru or a mentor, touch their feet as well, get their blessings. This is, excellent spiritual time for you. So spiritual progress is guaranteed if you work towards it. Jupiter, sixth and ninth lord making a transit in the 12th house, it is aspecting your fourth house, sixth house, and the eighth house. So somehow your 4, 8, and 12 trine is pretty much active, which is the trine of moksha, spirituality. So your spiritual quotient naturally is going to be at its peak. So fourth house aspect, which is the fifth special aspect of Jupiter, this is where learning related to fourth house matters. Your homeland, mother, of course, your comfort space. So you would like to learn about things that are of your interest. Maybe you want to pick up a hobby. You start playing a musical instrument, or you start singing or dancing or acting or some of the other hobby or interests that you have, maybe traveling, photography. So it could be a number of things. So depending on what you like, you would like to spend more energies and learn something new of personal nature, which is of your personal interest. And application is happening in the eighth house. So for that, you have to do a lot of research. You will apply in research. Whatever you learn, you would like to put in practice. So this is the key for you. At workplace, whatever you do, workplace related changes are inevitable. And in case your dasha antardasha is supportive, it's going to be a quite an important year for you as far as work related pursuits are. So whatever you learn, you need to apply, you need to do a lot of research as far as its application, understand the pros and cons, to understand whether it is working well for you or not, and what can it possibly lead to. This is something which you must understand. And there's expansion of 12th house matters for sure. Spirituality, self-reflection, self-actualization. Jupiter is going to bring in all of these things. So remedies for you will be either related to Jupiter, so either worship Lord Shiva, or your Lagnesha Chandrama, so worship Lord Krishna. Use a Krishna mantra. Okay, any simple Krishna mantra. It could be as simple as Om Hare Rama Krishna, or it could be Om Kleem Krishnaya Namah. Okay, so use any Krishna mantra with a Kleem bija. This will be absolutely beneficial for you. You can also use mantras related to Mars or Mangal. That is a must have. Okay, worship Lord Hanuman. That goes without a doubt. Maruti Nandan. Okay, so fifth Lord Mars, any mantras that you use pertaining to Mars would be beneficial for you. Fourth house, sixth house, and eighth house are going to be pretty much active as far as Jupiter's aspects are concerned. So these aspects will increase your spiritual quotient. Particularly your sixth house is absolutely active because both Jupiter and Saturn are aspecting your sixth house. Okay, so this is the double transit effect. And your daily routines need focus. Any debts that you take during this time, it could favor you depending on your dasha antardasha. It could give you some sort of repaying capacity, but you will go through deep transformation as spiritual transformation. And of course, spiritual journeys usually bring some sort of difficulty as well. I believe you must, potentially wait for Jupiter making a transit in your ascendant, which is going to be breakthrough. But till the time, it is going to make you mentally strong. And a lot of focus on physical wellness as well, because this year, if you've been thinking of losing weight, this is the perfect year for you. So you'll be able to do it quickly. You'll be able to do it in a fast manner in the next few months. Between May through October is quite an excellent time for you to lose weight, to work out, exercise, and of course, see the results. Let's talk about Saturn's transit in Pisces. This promotes spiritual exploration and indicates profound healing journeys. Saturn is your seventh lord and the eighth lord. It rules marriage, partnership, business, those people who are opposite to you. It also rules your transformation, your longevity. It rules the eighth house of suddenness, sudden changes in life, sudden ups and downs in life. And it wants you to connect deeply with your inner self, with who you are, because Saturn rules all the kinds of secret for you. Now it's in the ninth house. Now it is, of course, putting a lot of energies as far as your bhagya is concerned. Your seventh lord making a move in ninth house. There is definitely a lot of karma over the next couple of years as far as relationship matters are concerned, because karmas in relationship are also seen from the ninth house. Any changes in relationship, so you'll have to bring in changes, because your seventh, eighth, and ninth houses are pretty much active. So there will be a greater focus as far as relationship is concerned. There will be a greater focus on higher learning. So enroll yourself in a course, something that you could apply to navigate the change, to increase the power of making gains, and at the same time creating more than one sources of income for you. This is also quite an important time for you. This is your seventh and the eighth lord making a transit in the ninth house. See, Saturn being a malefic is not very auspicious as far as ninth house is, but its aspects of growth are on the 11th house and the sixth house. So your sixth house is pretty much active as far as double transit effect is concerned. So Saturn's aspect indicates growth. We also see job from the sixth house. And 11th house is the house of gains. So there could be a gain of income. You could be incentivized, you could be recognized, there could be an increase in your income. There could also be a job change, and it could lead you to a better job. But that will come with a little bit of effort and lots of hard work and labor during this year. This is the key. You have to protect your dharma. This is most important for you. So you have to hold on to it, improve relationship with your father, work towards that. I mean, remove any kind of cold energies or coldness if that exists. Saturn's also aspecting your third house by its seventh aspect of desire, which is only a mere 50% aspect. But your 3-9 axis does indicate change, okay? Change in the matters pertaining to your relationship. So you will go through some behavioral changes. You will have to take, be responsible towards this change. Take accountability of your action, and communication is the key here. Listen to your partner, and at the same time, be self-expressive as well. Do not keep things to yourself. Come out there in the open. Do not stay in your shell. So, third aspect on the 11th house could bring you more opportunities as far as gains of all kinds. Slowly, gradually, with time, the initial first phase could be a little bit challenging because this is also your eighth lord making a transit in the ninth house. But as and when time would progress, you would become more mature, your decision making would be much better, and at the same time, you'll be able to channelize the power of labor as far as Shani is concerned, as far as Saturn is concerned. Travel is something which could bring some renewed energies. And if it is related to your work, if you travel with your partner, it could help you build a good relationship. It could help you, of course, foster, channelize these energies in a positive manner, in a good manner. Let's talk about Rahu and Ketu in Aquarius and Leo for you, which is an interesting eight to access. Now, many people perceive or they live in a kind of fear when Rahu and Ketu are making a transit in either second house or eighth house or 2-8 axis. Because one of these houses for a lot of people is perceived to be a bad house, which is the eighth house. Okay, it is not the case. So each house has its own good areas, strengths, and at the same time some pitfalls and blind spots as well. Eighth house has got a lot of strength in it. It has got the power of longevity. It gives you life. It gives you death as well. It gives you transformation. It gives you suddenness. It gives you debts. It also gives you great knowledge. It also gives you inheritance. It also gives you unearned income, unearned wealth. So there is a need of balancing financial and emotional well-being as far as this particular cycle is concerned. So there will be dual focus. So these are, listen, conflicting energies. So there will be focus on material success and personal happiness as well. So at one point in time, you would like to work very hard to earn money, to create wealth, to create another source of income, and at the same time, you would feel, oh, my personal life is going for a toss. So I'm unable to balance. What do I do? Should I chase money or should I, of course, look after my family? So this is something which you have to be mindful of because Ketu would certainly create some sort of separative tendencies as far as family matters are concerned. And it will somehow make you think or wonder that making money or, of course, savings, there's nothing which I can do. So, I mean, this is not my priority. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to help others. I'm here to heal. I'm here to transform. And these are the kind of experiences that you will have during this transit. Okay. Your speech will also go through some transformation. You might want to maybe step away from a conflicting situation. So I will highly advise you, encourage you to step into the situation, understand the other person's perspective, and make sure that you spend enough time with your family. See, Ketu is a good planet for you. It's your co-fifth lord making a transit in second house, which is also forming a Dhan Yoga in transit. This will give you wealth creating opportunities. This will also favor inheritance because this particular axis is being supportive and Rahu co-rules the sign of Aquarius for you. This is something which you have to be mindful of. So transformation is inevitable. Jupiter is keeping this Rahu at check because Jupiter is ensuring that it will help you channelize these energies appropriately so that you could make better decisions as far as your life is concerned. As far as your well-being is, transformation is inevitable. So the first 3 to 4 months is really a time for you to be prepared for this transit, be prepared for suddenness in your life, be prepared for ups and downs, changes of all kinds, and plan ahead of time. Pen down things. Do mantras related to Jupiter or Mars during this time. Worship Lord Hanuman and use a simple Guru mantra or a simple Shiv mantra such as Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya or Om Gurave Namah. These are the ultimate mantras for you, which will help you channelize the energies of Rahu. One thing that Rahu would do is if you're in a technical field, it will make you do a lot of research. It will make you learn new technologies, some of the breakthrough, kind of things that are happening in the current world, some discoveries that are being made. And at the same time, it will make you very much receptive towards new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things, which could save your time. I mean, in workplace context, this could make you successful because you will build technical capabilities, you will build research capabilities here. So do a lot of research. If you're in a technical field, if you're in a technical domain, if you do anything related to engineering, technology, robotics, automation, so this could be quite a breakthrough year for you, particularly between May through October and even early 2026. Rahu is under control. So most of the time, this Rahu is under check, right? Focus on your relationship. Please hold on to two things, your relationship and your dharma, your religion. This is the testing time for you, right? And I wish you the very best. May you have a blessed life ahead. Now let us talk about Leo ascendants. And this is one of the most unique videos that I'm making, keeping in mind three important transits: transit of Saturn, the transit of Jupiter, and also the transit of Rahu and Ketu. So this will lead to triggering of events. Life events are triggered when these planets make a transit, because Saturn's transit is about 2.5 years long. So it makes a transit once in about 2.5 years. Jupiter makes transit once in 12 months. And Rahu and Ketu, the lunar nodes, the shadowy planets, make a transit once in every 18 months. And that is happening in 2025, where Saturn is moving in the sign of Pisces. Jupiter will enter Gemini, and that will happen around mid of May. And also, Rahu and Ketu uh, in May itself will be moving through Aquarius and Leo. They will move in these signs, and Rahu is said to be pretty strong in Aquarius because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius. Ketu is also strong in the sign of Leo because it's a fiery planet and it does very well in the sign of Leo. So this is something I'm going to be talking about. I will give you some tips, some remedies, some of the things that you need to be prepared with, and at the same time, how you can make the most. Of course, we cannot cover all the aspects, but I'd like to keep things very simple for you, very much relatable, very much easy to understand, right, with limited jargons, so that it makes it interesting for you. Let us begin with understanding the transit of Jupiter, which is your fifth lord and also your eighth lord. Jupiter is an important planet for you because it's your fifth lord. I always say that fifth lord is one of the most important planets for any ascendant because this house represents your future. Astrology is about past, present, and future. People go to astrologers to seek help as far as their future is concerned. And Jupiter's transit in the sign of Gemini, for Leo ascendants, you will experience a lot of expansion as far as your social circles are concerned, as far as your social quotient is. So, whichever house Jupiter is placed or it transits, it expands the significance of that house. So, you will see expansion of your social circle, of your networking, the kind of opportunities that you will have networking with people, build beneficial, mutually beneficial and meaningful relationships. In your power of wisdom, you will have a sense of wisdom, you will have a sense of maturity in your interactions with other people, and this is how you'll be able to create an influence because Jupiter rules authority for you, which we also see from the fifth house. So you will be able to command yourself with a sense of authority, and you have an incredible opportunity to expand your network, to influence people. Those who are in the business of maybe advisory, consulting, or any such services, if you work with other people, if you give them advice, if you give them help, support, you could see a lot of people coming to you to seek your advice, to get some message, and it will be quite beneficial for you because of two reasons. Jupiter's making a transit in your 11th house, Saturn's making a transit in your 8th house, which will also make you a very good and a mature advisor. And people would like to come to you to seek help, and in return, you will build some meaningful relationships, you will build some good network. So this year is the year of networking with for you. Expand your horizon. Your fifth lord is making a transit in the 11th house, which is forming a natural Dhan Yoga in transit. So if you're looking forward to an incentive, increment, increase in your salary, increase in your income, this could be a particularly favorable year for you. You could have some benefits in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. So from a financial standpoint, this is good for you. Let's talk about work. I'm going to talk about maybe 3 or 4 areas here: work, relationship, health, and also, I would like to touch base as far as your wealth creating opportunities are concerned. So, from a work point of view, Jupiter plays limited role, but it plays a role of progress. And as far as eighth house matters, which is your transformation, longevity, your lord of transformation is going in the 11th house, which is fourth from your eighth house. So it is supporting change. It is supporting your transformation. It is going to be easy for you. It's not going to be very difficult because Jupiter's aspects from your 11th house, it is aspecting your third house by its fifth aspect, which is the aspect of knowledge. Okay, it is aspecting your fifth house, so it is aspecting your third house, fifth house, and it is aspecting your seventh house of marriage, partnership, which are the three special aspects of Jupiter. So fifth aspect represents learning. So learning related to third house, so you will learn new ways of communication. You will learn how to put the best of efforts, and your efforts are going to be counted. So that is why it is favorable for you to make progress, because any effort that you put, you will see the results. Thankfully, hard work will be essential, but any efforts that you put, you will see results as far as these matters are concerned. So your communication will demonstrate maturity. You need to be change ready. You also need to maybe take care of yourself when you're traveling. Okay, so focus on learning new things. You will apply that learning in your business, in your relationship, in your partnership. These are some of the areas where you will apply. So the application will happen in this particular house. Okay, so you would want to apply your learning in improving your relationship, in improving your business, in improving your partnership, in making better decisions, dealing with other people, resolving conflicts. This is how you would understand energies of Jupiter. Your fifth house is particularly super active during this time because it is being jointly aspected by Saturn and also Jupiter. So Jupiter has seventh aspect, which is a 50% aspect. Saturn has a 10th aspect, which is a 100% aspect. So your fifth house between May through October and even towards the end of the year is pretty much active all throughout 2025. So future planning, this is the year for future planning for you. Pen down your goals, make a note of things that you wish to do. You could have progress, you could have success. I mean, those people who have some political connections or maybe more want to venture in leadership roles, political roles, depending on your dasha antardasha, this could be a potentially favorable time for you to have some political favors, right? Or get a positional success. I mean, some sort of position or a rise in status. At the same time, this could somehow make you a bit corruptive as well. Okay, so be aware of corruption. Stay away from it as much as you can, because fifth house also could make one corruption. This is what power does to people, right? Towards the end. Mantras are going to be particularly beneficial for you because your fifth house is absolutely active. So any guru related mantra or Surya related mantra is highly beneficial for you. If you were to improve your work, then there should be a mantra related to Venus or Shukra. So either Jupiter, Venus, or Sun. These are the three planets. You can use mantras and of course worship Lord Hanuman. Read Hanuman Chalisa every day. This will give you a lot of mental strength to deal with any sort of tough situation that you might encounter this year. Let's talk about Saturn, which is your sixth and the seventh lord, making a transit in the eighth house. It is causing a Viparita Yoga in transit because it's your sixth lord making a transit in the eighth house, which of course ensures that situation could go adverse, but eventually you will rise. Okay. This particular transit really emphasizes the need of making a commitment, okay, and bringing emotional depth in your relationship, in your partnership, and of course looking to build meaningful connections. So see, eighth house is the mangalya bhava of marriage because it's the second from your seventh house, and Saturn rules your seventh house. So it is a testing time as far as relationship is concerned. You need to bring in depth in your conversation. You need to strengthen your relationship. Remove coldness. Avoid procrastinating things as far as relationship matters are concerned. You need to take things in your hand. You need to step into the situation. See, there is no better day than today in having or picking up a conversation. So do not wait for tomorrow. Do not delay things for the next day. that, oh, I will do it later. I will have this conversation later. Maybe now is not the right time. So maybe you need to move away, step away from that kind of mindset and take charge of the situation. Saturn's also the natural significator of the eighth house. It is the Ayush Karak. And from that matter, it is a positive transit, a positive placement for Saturn. But then it does bring in some sort of obstacle as far as progress and work is concerned, particularly for Leo moon signs, because this is Ashtama Shani. Eighth Shani from ascendant or from moon does bring obstacles as far as workplace success is, because it brings a lot of suddenness in life. It doesn't let you settle at one place. So you could see yourself maybe shifting jobs, 2 or 3 jobs in the next 2.5 years. Now, it could be good for you as well if you're getting a rise in income. But if you're doing it out of force, maybe you're sick and tired of something, maybe you're not liking the culture, you're not liking the place, and you seek for other opportunities out of desperation. So that is something which you have to evaluate and understand. But this particular transit will not let you settle at one particular place. Saturn's aspecting your 10th house by its third aspect, and it is also aspecting your 5th house by its 10th aspect, which is the aspect of growth. So there is growth related to work, job, business. There's also growth related to future, children, and your creativity, your creative pursuits that are going to be on a higher side. Both fifth and 10th houses indicate Rajya. So definitely workplace related change is there. It is inevitable. You will have more than one change at least. In case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, this will not let you settle at one place. Saturn wants to bring in a lot of discipline, the way you manage your finances, the way you manage your income, and of course your savings, your consumption as well. You might go through some dietary changes, dietary restrictions. So you might want to restrict yourself by certain food items, and of course, in order to put your life back on track. And this will, of course, depend on your current time period and how you deal with some of these energies. But your 5th house is particularly active by the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn. This is something which you have to watch out for. And of course, if you wish to start your own business, the business of consulting others, the business of giving advice, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. Please study Jyotish or any similar subject that requires a lot of research, that has a lot of depth, that has a lot of hidden meaning, where you need to understand something and interpret it in many different ways. And the way that works best for you is your way, that is your style. And this is something which you have to identify. So do a lot of research. Let's talk about Rahu and Ketu. It's a significant transit for you because both are transiting in your quadrant houses, your Lagna and also your 7th house. So your 7 and 1 axis is pretty active. So this really highlights the balance between your personal identity, your relationship, the social roles that you play in life. Okay. It would want you to reflect, where you stand as far as the community is concerned, where you stand when it comes to dealing with the opposite people, because it's a testing time for you. Ketu, whenever it makes a transit in the Lagna, though it's your 4th lord, it rules the safety for you, it rules mother, homeland. It is a natural yoga in transit. In case you have a favorably disposed sun in your chart, your Lagna lord, and Saturn, this could be quite a breakthrough period for you. But Ketu naturally brings in separative or isolated tendencies when it is making a transit in the ascendant. So make sure that you do not isolate yourself. You need to stay away from getting into your shell. You need to stay out in the open. You need to ensure that you are constantly in touch with people, that you're interacting with people, because Leo ascendants have a natural karma towards communication. When it comes to workplace success, they will only succeed if they communicate. Okay. See, understand, Leo naturally has a very authoritative energies because there is only one head of the table, that is the king sun. And whichever planet comes directly opposite to sun, whichever person comes directly opposite to sun, they get blinded by the rays, by the energy, by the power of sun. So that is why I always say never sit across the table to a Leo ascendant. You will get blinded. You need to sit at the side, and that is the sign of respect to sun. Okay, it's I mean my funny way of saying it, but it makes a lot of sense. So your 1st and 7th house are going through some transformative energies. Rahu gains directional strength in the 7th house. It's your co-7th lord making a transit here, so it's a favorable time. Jupiter is ensuring that most of the time of this transit, it keeps Rahu under check, under control, because Jupiter is the only planet that can control Rahu, that can tame the energies of Rahu. On one hand, Jupiter is expanding your gains, your power of recognition, and at the same time, Rahu is going to work towards getting support from other people because it gains directional strength, blessings of the Devata. Worship goddess Durga during this time, or you could worship Surya Devata. This could be quite beneficial for you to channelize the energies of this Rahu, which is gaining directional strength. So there is definitely relationship karma in case you're looking forward to a new relationship, getting married, or finding yourself a partner. This could be a potentially favorable time for you depending on your ongoing dasha antardasha. Businesses could see some success, could see some expansion. Definitely certain changes, whether the change is good or not so good, would depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha and the kind of role it plays. Remedy is with Jupiter if you want to channelize this Rahu appropriately, right? So this is something which you must understand. You must also understand that Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter, because Rahu also has a fifth aspect. I'm not getting into Rahu Ketu's aspect here, but there's a mutual aspect of Jupiter and Rahu which is there, right? And both are very strong, okay? And both are trying to influence each other, right? But Jupiter has a greater sense of control, and Rahu is the one who wants to be like Jupiter, who wants to be like Venus as well, because he wants to have all the kinds of knowledge and, of course, everything in this world. It wants to expand, expand, and just expand. So you will have expansive capabilities and tendencies during this time, condition if you do not isolate yourself. So you need to avoid staying in your shell, practice mindfulness. So you see, use these introspection, or of course, I would rather say introverted energies for reflection, for deep thinking, for spiritual pursuits. Sit down, meditate, try and think through what are the kind of things that you were to do and achieve in life, and of course, the kind of goals that you set. So it will open up your mind, and your mind has unlimited potential, your brain has unlimited potential, and that is something which you will realize. Right? It is very good as far as self-actualization, self-realization. It will make you more of giving in nature. So more donations you make during this time, it will benefit you. It will also help you maybe settle outside of your home country, homeland. In case your dasha antardasha is supportive, you can obtain a permanent residency over the next 18 months. Right? This is the kind of energy which you could expect. And my best wishes, and may you have an amazing year of Mangal. Now let's talk about Virgo ascendants and what's happening at the physical level. You must understand these transits from your ascendant sign. This is the most unique video that I am making. Two of these four planets that I'm going to talk about are making a transit in your quadrant houses, are making a transit in your Kendra houses. And therefore, it is a significant year for you. In this video, I'm going to present to you Saturn's transit in Pisces, Jupiter's transit in Gemini, and Rahu Ketu's transit in Aquarius and in Leo, to give you a very holistic view of what you can expect in my presentation, some of the things that you could expect, and at the same time, what these energies are really depicting and how you can make the most of it. Let us begin with Lord Shani, Saturn, Shri Sanishtara, your fifth and the sixth lord. Fifth lord plays a very important role for most ascendants, and this is what Shani Dev for you is. Saturn in Pisces. This is making a transit in your seventh house. And Saturn or Shani gains directional strength as far as seventh house is concerned. There are blessings of the Devata. This is the western direction where Saturn is quite auspicious. So there are good energies, and it is gaining directional strength. There are blessings of Devata, and you must worship Lord Hanuman during this time. Saturn is making a transit in your seventh house. It is making connection with your ascendant, so you must worship Lord Hanuman. So this really emphasizes the importance of maintaining your health and managing your daily responsibilities towards your relationship, towards your partnership, towards other people, those people who are opposite to you, and how you can make the most of these energies. Because Saturn is also your sixth lord of daily routines, debts, diseases, health, and well being. It is making a transit in your seventh house. So your partner's health will be of a concern, will be of a greater focus, and that is likely to improve if you're having some issues. Saturn does very well in the seventh house. I mean, it, in my opinion, gives a very promising and long-lasting marriage. In most cases, I have seen that, I have experienced it as well with other people. It does bring some sort of delay, but of course, it brings a very strong sense or responsibility towards relationship, towards other people, particularly towards your partner. It makes you put a lot of maturity in your relationship. So this is the kind of karma that you have during this time as far as your relationship is concerned. So avoid any sort of coldness in your relationship, because Saturn is a cold planet, right? It is also a mature graha. So it will make you sound like, you know, you have a sense of coldness towards other person, towards your relationship, but this is something which you have to be mindful of. This is something which you have to be cautious of during this time. Now, Saturn has three special aspects: third from its position, seventh, and 10th from its position. So it is going to be aspecting your ninth house by its third aspect, your ascendant by its seventh aspect, and your fourth house by its 10th special aspect. So there will be certainly growth related to ninth house matters, which is your bhagya, fortune, your spirituality, your higher learning, higher education, relationship with your father or your guru. That is going to increase because of its special third aspect. So it indicates growth. Also, special aspect, 10th aspect on your fourth house. So, home and comforts, that will be the priority. You would want to stay home, you would want to step into your comfortable position. And this house is particularly active because both Jupiter and Saturn are jointly aspecting this house based on the concept of double transit of Saturn and Jupiter. So, your fourth house, you have to pay careful attention. You would like to stay connected with your mother, your homeland, people from your homeland. You would also make some key decisions in real estate matters, properties, assets, investment in real estate. So, this could be quite a breakthrough year for you if you wish to maybe buy a real estate or make some decisions as far as the house is concerned. If not, you would like to declutter your house. See, in this video, I'm going to talk about, some of the things: your career, your health and well-being, your relationship, and also your wealth opportunities. So you got to, pay, of course, careful attention to all these matters here. But the comfort that you will have during this time, you will be very much focused towards your personal interest. Your personal well-being would be of greater priority. I mean, most important than many other factors. So this is going to be the energies. Jupiter and Saturn are jointly aspecting your fourth house. So build, strengthen connection with your mother. Make sure that if your dasha antardasha is supportive, the next year and a half could be an excellent time for you to buy something, which is, let's say, your own house or any sort of investment in assets or real estate is concerned. Saturn will be aspecting your Lagna, will be aspecting your ascendant. So, of course, anything that will come to you will come with a little bit of a delay. Shanai, Shanai. Okay, so it is slow, it is delayed. And this is not something which is in your control or in your hands. You will get what you want, but you will only get when Saturn wants to give you. Okay, this is something which you must understand, right? Now, from a physical point of view, this is an excellent time for you to work on physical well-being, your physical wellness, your body, your vitality. If you were to work out, if you're thinking of losing weight, if you're trying to lose weight, this could be an excellent time because this will bring in a lot of discipline in your life. This will bring in a lot of power of labor, physical level transformation in you. Let's talk about Jupiter, which is making a transit in Gemini. Jupiter is your fourth and the seventh lord. It is also your Badikesh. It is also the ruler of obstacles for you, besides ruling your comfort, which is your fourth house, Sukh Bhava, and also your Jaya Bhava, which is the relationship, which is the house of relationship, marriage, partnership, businesses. Of course, this Jupiter in the 10th house facilitates career advancement. It expands whichever house it transits. So it is going to expand your career advancement opportunities, recognition. It will bring you more opportunities for personal growth, professional development, professional transformation, newer, better, bigger job opportunities. And you would like to put in your wisdom as far as your workplace matters are concerned. You will make your presence felt. But understand this thing: Jupiter also equally brings in obstacles for you. This is also the year of career related obstacles. So you have to counter those obstacles. There's only one who could help you remove all obstacles or counter these obstacles, and that is Ganesha, Lord Ganesha himself. So worship Ganesha, use a Ganpati mantra, right? Do Ganpati Aarti every day, worship him, and at the same time, look up to him, and he will protect you. So there is definitely expansion of job, expansion of business, expansion of work, expansion of any such pursuits that you might want to take up during this time. Jupiter is one of the significator. There are many significators on the 10th house, multiple. Jupiter is also one of the significator. It signifies wisdom and knowledge in your job, at your work. And this is how it'll be the test for you, how you apply your knowledge. Jupiter has three aspects. It is aspecting your second house, okay, and that is happening by the fifth aspect of Jupiter. So its fifth aspect is on your second house. So there's learning related to second house matters. You will learn to invest, you will learn to save money, you would learn to work more towards your family, you would learn to, of course, eat good, right? Whether it's healthy, whether it's for the best of your interest, you will go through some transformation as far as your income and, of course, your consumption is concerned. Jupiter is also aspecting your fourth house, which I have briefly spoken about because your fourth house is pretty much active, but a double transit of Jupiter and Saturn, both mutually aspecting. But Jupiter is also aspecting your sixth house, where Rahu is making a transit. So, firstly, Jupiter will ensure that it keeps this Rahu under check. Rahu does very well in the sixth house. It is, I mean, 3, 6, 11, and 10 are one of the best placements for Rahu. And of course, from a transit point of view as well. And both Jupiter and Rahu are mutually aspecting each other. Okay. And this is something which you must understand here. Okay. Because if Jupiter is aspecting, Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter. But Jupiter has a greater control. So it will bring in, you will apply your learning at your workplace, in your job. So anything that you learn, maybe you learn about finances, about financial management, you would like to apply in your job and maybe work towards ROI, work towards impact, work towards certain KPIs which could demonstrate some financial results. So you will build commercial acumen during this time. So focus on building commercial acumen because Jupiter gives very good financial capabilities, and especially when it is moving in the sign of Gemini, we will see a lot of general financial related decisions, some upheaval, some banking regulations. And for you, particularly, if you learn about finances, if you learn and build commercial acumen, that will help you succeed in your job. Your daily routine needs a check, needs a lot of decluttering, decleansing. And at the same time, I would advise you to clean up your house. Give away your old stuff, old things, donate. Give them away to those who need it the most. And these are the energies of Jupiter. This is the calling of Jupiter and Saturn, which are jointly aspecting your fourth house. This is something which you must understand. Jupiter will definitely expand all the 10th house related matters, but at workplace, it will make you believe, or you might come across a situation that you know it all and you are the supreme powerhouse of knowledge. So that is the kind of mentality you have to stay away from. So please stay away from a know-it-all attitude and be grounded, be humble. Do not let the this power of ego translate, power of knowledge translate into your ego. And of course that could be detrimental towards relationship with other people. And this is something which you have to be mindful of. This is something which you have to be careful of. And stay humble, practice humility at workplace, and this is an essential leadership skill. Read every day, learn every day, and at the same time, share your wisdom. Train others, share your knowledge and wisdom with others. This is how you will shine at workplace. This is how you will appear to be someone who commands great knowledge and at the same time who is there to help others, who's there to guide, counsel others as well. This is quite an important phase. Rahu and Ketu, now let's talk about that. They are making a transit in your 6 and 12 axis. Okay. So Rahu is making a transit in Aquarius. It co-rules the sign of Aquarius. It is your co-sixth lord. And Ketu is making a transit in your 12th house. Ketu is your co-third lord. This is also the year of Mangal, year of Mars, right? And Ketu is just like Mars. Ketu is a very non-materialistic graha. It is a very spiritual graha, right opposite to Rahu. Rahu and Ketu are very opposite energies. Rahu believes that, Ketu, you have to follow what I say because I'm the head. I got the brain. I got the power. Ketu hates Rahu. Ketu says, you're all about, materialism. You're all about expansion. You're all about eating up everything. I'm not like you. I don't like you at all. I don't want to follow you. I'm something who needs nothing in life. And I'm all about giving and all about moksha. And there's a lot of fire that is burning. So Ketu is constantly burning. So 12th house Ketu definitely increases spiritual capabilities, spiritual abilities of a person. But this really would somehow create a conflict between your personal commitment and your professional life. And this is something which you have to be mindful of this year. Okay. You have to create a sense of balance because you will be involved so much into the work that this could somehow affect your personal well being. So you have to be very focused on your spiritual practices, have a routine in place, do yoga, do meditation, and try and go out there, connect with the nature, do those things which increases your mindfulness, that brings in certain support as far as increasing the potential of your mind is concerned, and try to open up your brain, promote your overall well-being. You need to focus and work towards your personal well-being. That should be of great importance to you. Rahu does well in the sixth house. It helps you overcome your enemies, it helps you defeat your enemies, because Rahu shares a friendly relationship with your lagna lord Mercury. It likes Mercury, so it will help you overcome obstacles, enemies, opposition of all kinds for the next 18 months starting May. And for the first year or so, more than half of this transit, Jupiter is keeping this Rahu under check. Jupiter will ensure that it expands all the good abilities of this Rahu to help you channelize. So, job could undergo a change. Maybe you might have more than one change, and these changes could be quite fruitful for you, could be quite beneficial for you from a financial standpoint. And this is something which you must understand. The 2-6-10 axis is active, which is the Artha trine, right? So it is all about your work, your ability to earn, your ability to get a job, and of course, your ability to do all the kinds of actions as far as what you do in this world in order to survive, sustain yourself. So it is all about work. So it is highly activating all work for you. So this is something which you have to bear in mind. This is something which you have to keep in mind. And this is how you will be able to channelize these energies of Rahu. It is all about expansion, expansion of job, and expansion of all matters pertaining to work. Worship Lord Hanuman, use mantras related to Saturn. It will improve your relationship. It will help you channelize the energies of Saturn. Or worship Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu are very closely associated to your Lagnesh or to Buddha. So use a simple mantra, Om Vishnave Nama, or Om Namo Narayanaya. This is something which you can chant on a daily basis to help you channelize these energies appropriately. It will give you a better decision making capability. And any mantras that you use, any spiritual practices that you will have during this time, your Ketu will work towards your betterment. It will make you discover some of those things about yourself in life, about your true potential that you could never think of, right? This is the kind of groundbreaking transit as far as Rahu and Ketu for you is concerned, which will help you realize your true potential. And this is the preparation time for you, the next 3 to 4 months, planning phase, planning for workplace expansion, planning for job related changes, and planning for a sense of creating a balance between a personal and professional life, setting your priorities very straight. Even at workplace, be very clear of your priorities. Be very clear of your personal interests, your personal time, and your personal goals. Otherwise, you could get into a difficult situation. And in order to avoid that, please set your priorities within the first 3 or 4 months. And I wish you the very best. May you have a fruitful year ahead. Let us now talk about Libra ascendants and what's happening. Unique analysis around three key transits of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu. All four of these planets, the two planets, Saturn, Jupiter, and two shadowy planets, the lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu, are changing signs. And whenever they change signs together, it triggers life events, it triggers changes, it activates certain cycles, certain houses, as far as the natives are concerned. So, of course, it is going to impact everyone. In this video, I'm going to keep the concepts very simple. I'm going to give you some highlights, some of the things that you could expect, the energy shifts, certain remedies, what are certain time periods you could take care of, and of course, what can you do in a general sense to make the most of this year. So for Libra ascendants, let's begin with Saturn first, because Saturn is an important planet for you. It's your Yoga Karaka. And in this video, I'm going to talk about your career, a little bit on the health, marriage, relationship, and also on your finances. So I'm going to break this, down for you in each of these sections. So Saturn in Pisces, okay, it will make you work towards creative endeavors. So it would, in a way, bring in creativity in your daily life. You would like to explore a lot of things. You would become more self-expressive. You would like to explore more hobbies, and you will definitely come out of your shell. Okay. So firstly, Saturn is the natural significator of the sixth house, and it is making a transit in the sign of Pisces. Saturn in Pisces does very well. It does even better than Saturn in Capricorn. I have mentioned this in one of my previous videos as well, because this sign rules by Jupiter. Saturn is a mature planet and it loves to listen to Jupiter. See, from a sign placement, Saturn is a significator of 6th, 8th, and 12th house. So it is making a transit in the 6th house. It is making a transit in Pisces, which is the natural 12th house. So it has greater significance as far as this particular transit is concerned. And for you, it rules your fourth house and the fifth house. Fourth house of your safe space, your happy space, your mother, your comforts. It is the Sukha Bhava, something that brings satisfaction, joy to you. It rules your hobbies, things that you like to do. It also rules your assets, your real estate, personal investment, of course, your house. It is also a fifth lord of creativity, children, unconditional love, your progress, positional success is seen from the fifth house because it is all about future. So it plays a very important role for you. And it's making a transit in the house of daily routine, your debts, diseases, health and well-being, your intelligence, job is also seen from the sixth house. So it will definitely put you out of comfort zone as far as job matters are concerned. Okay. And it will make you a lot more creative as on a daily basis. You would like to be more creative. See, Saturn is the one that gives us the power of labor. So the power of labor for you is coming in your daily routine. Something that you have to do is you have to stay active all through the while. So between May through October is the time when, of course, these key shifts are going to happen. But Jupiter will also change signs, so there's going to be a double transit phenomena as well. There will be a greater focus on your third house, because both Saturn and Jupiter are making an aspect, which is a double aspect on your third house. So, of course, any efforts that you put around this time between May through October, you're likely to see the results as far as these efforts are concerned. And you're also likely to make a job shift, a job change, or a change of residence can happen between May through October. And for those who are looking forward to getting like a permanent residency, a stamp, or a movement abroad, this could also be a particularly favorable time. So this could be because of two reasons. One of the reasons could be that you're doing it because of your work, because of your job. Okay, because you're shifting home, you're shifting your home base. Because the Lord who rules home space for you has gone into the sixth house. It is making a connection with the 12th house by its seventh aspect. Okay, it is making a connection with the eighth house by its third aspect. Okay, eighth house is places across the sea. Okay, so it is making a connection here and it is making a connection with your third house. And we see journeys from the third house. We also see house abroad from the third house because this is fourth from your 12th house. So there's a greater possibility in case your Dasha and the Dasha is supportive, this time period can see you getting some sort of settlement outside of your home country. And whether this is positive move for you or not, that depends on your ongoing Dasha Antardasha and the kind of role that it will play. But yes, you have to be mindful of your efforts that you would continue to put. And Saturn definitely will make you, work really hard. So there's no scope of lethargy in life. So you have to be active all throughout the time. Change is the only thing that is constant. Worship Lord Hanuman because that is how you'll be able to channelize the energies of Saturn and also Mars. Any mantras pertaining to Shani could be good for you. Okay. Any mantras related to either Shukra or Jupiter, either Venus, your Lagna Lord, or Jupiter can also be good for you because Jupiter will be making a transit in your ninth house, which is also a supportive transit for you. Okay. For that aspect. So Saturn's third and the 10th aspect determine growth, right? So there's growth related to your eighth house matters. Your longevity, you'll have greater focus on your health, well-being, your emotional well-being, your physical well-being, your eating habits, your daily life, and how you would fix it so that you're able to focus on your immunity and your mental wellness. Okay, and there's growth related to third house matters. Communication, travel, journeys are going to be fruitful. Okay, but here you have to be a little bit mindful of the fact that your mind can go corrupted. Okay, so you have to stay away from corruption. You have to follow the path of ethics. Okay, your health could need a greater focus during this time because Saturn's energies are quite cold, and it slows down the matters as well, whichever house it gets transit. So make sure that you go for a routine checkup every 4 to 5 months, 4 to 6 months. You have a routine checkup just to make sure that your health and well-being is in check, because that is eventually going to become a priority. So it is like a calling for you. It is like, those signals that you're getting that now is the time to put your life back on track. And this is the kind of path which you need to follow over the next 2.5 years in order to ensure that you're able to have a healthy and a balanced lifestyle. So these are the energies of transit Saturn for you. Of course, it is making a seventh aspect to your 12th house, but that is something which is only a 50% aspect. It will focus a lot and of course make you more spiritual. And from a spiritual point of view, it is a good transit as well. But yes, you have to keep your health in check. There could be certain issues, and if those issues go undetected, and if you don't, of course, remedy them in the right time, then this could be, quite problematic for you as far as your health and well-being is concerned, right? At the relationship front, of course, I do see a lot as far as love matters are concerned, because your fifth house is very active. There is Rahu making a transit, which is causing expansion, your fifth lord making a transit in the fifth house, and it will be aspected by Jupiter. So, from for love matters, for relationship, it's quite favorable. So, the first few months, primarily between May through July, August, September, you're likely to meet someone, you're likely to initiate or start a new relationship, or your existing one, you're likely to strengthen that relationship. And of course, it's the year of Mars, so you will definitely have relationship karma. And so you stay focused and grounded, right? Practice humility, because see, you will have power, you will have authority, you will have wealth as well this year. But with power, authority comes corruption as well. There comes ego as well. So you have to practice humility, you have to stay grounded. And in case you face problems in terms of staying grounded, you can practice meditation. And this is the ultimate remedy for you. Jupiter, which is your third lord, and the sixth lord, is making a transit in the ninth house in the sign of Gemini. So this really boosts learning, travel opportunities, and of course, it makes your horizon quite broad. It will expand your knowledge because ninth house is the highest knowledge. It is the highest spiritual knowledge. It is higher learning. We see masters, and of course, further to masters as well. From this house, we see a lot of spiritual knowledge that is concerned from this house. And whichever house Jupiter makes a transit, it expands its significance. And Jupiter for you rules efforts, communication, and daily routine. Third and the sixth lord, your right hand, things that you do. So whatever you learn, my advice to you would be you write it down. Use a pen, paper, anything that you use your hands. You'll be able to retain more. You will be able to apply it in your work life so that it gives you a good change. Okay. You will learn a lot about yourself in this Jupiter's transit because its fifth aspect is at your ascendant, is on your ascendant. So there's learning related to first house, which is yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity. So an excellent time for self-discovery, an excellent time to understand your key strengths, opportunity areas, and how you will continue to build on your strengths. Jupiter will also bring in a sense of maturity to you. But at the same time, one thing that you have to be cautious of is watch your weight. Of course, Jupiter will expand matters related to the first house. It will give you intelligence, but it will give you, of course, it will expand the body as well. So that's something which you have to be mindful of. So eat right, exercise, and take care of, some of those significations here, right? Now, the application is happening in your fifth house. So, whatever you learn about yourself, you're applying it for your future. You're applying it towards your creativity. You're applying it towards your relationship, towards your children, towards your love, unconditional love, and of course, towards your progress. So, this is where the application is happening. Jupiter is the natural significator of the ninth house. And if you have a strongly disposed Mercury in your chart, or if it is making favorable yoga and it is in strength, this is by far one of the better transits of Jupiter that you would have, right? Because over the next couple of years, I do see a lot of fortune and career related expansion while Jupiter makes a transit in Gemini and also Cancer. So these are opportunity years for you, opportunity cycles for you, which is between 25 to 27, 28. while Jupiter makes a transit in Gemini, Cancer, and Leo subsequently. So these are the kind of energies. So it will, of course, make your fundamentals very strong. So you will have to look back to the basic fundamentals and try to strengthen your fundamentals there. Okay, it will make you very dharmic, it will make you religious, it will make you spiritual as well. And if you have spiritual practices, it will help channelize this Rahu in the fifth house, because Rahu and Ketu are not considered auspicious in the trinal houses unless that trinal lord is disposed in Kendra or somehow it is connected to Rahu or Ketu in the chart, then they can deliver Raj Yoga. Otherwise, this is extremely challenging, and the only planet that can pull them out is Jupiter. So, thankfully, half of the time, more than half of the time of this transit, Jupiter will have a drishti on Rahu, the ninth aspect, so it keeps the Rahu on check. Okay, so this is something which is going to be pretty much there because Rahu and Ketu in Aquarius and Leo, it will try to build a balance, between your romantic relationships, your friendships, in case you're married. So you could have some balance to deal with, with your spouse and your friends, with your, of course, family life and the outer world of things, social events, right? How you would navigate your social life, right? You at times could be antisocial. The other day you could be extremely social. So you'll have a bit of a conflicting situation and shifting tendencies, all this while. So this is something which you have to be mindful of, right? How do you create a sense of balance? Because Ketu in the 11th house, Ketu is your co-second lord. So in the 11th house, it is giving you a dhan yoga. So yes, Ketu also gives wealth. It will give you wealth of knowledge. It will give you wealth of resources. But it needs direction, right? So it needs direction in terms of leveraging these opportunities in the right manner. It will also create a cut related to 11th house matters. It might make you think a lot of non-materialistic things. Okay, it might help you to donate more, to give more, to help others. Okay, and be less oriented towards material comforts and wealth. It might, of course, keep you away from your friends. You might like to isolate yourself from the outer social world. So this is the kind of balance that you would like to make, because Rahu, Ketu's connection here is going to work differently, right? Rahu would want to meet people, would want to get along with people, and of course expand, but Ketu would restrict. And these are the kind of conflict they have between each other. So your fifth and 11th axis is pretty much important, is active. So there's a greater focus as far as your future is concerned during these 18 months of Rahu and Ketu transit. And this is how you would read these energies in terms of house activation or the axis activation for you, which is 5 and 11. That is quite important for you. And Jupiter is aspecting Rahu. Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter. Okay, so they have a mutual aspect, but Jupiter's aspect is, of course, strong. It has a greater stay. And momentarily, it has a good control. And this is how you will be able to channelize this transit. I would say that be cautious of other people's conflict. Try to keep yourself away, and this Ketu would work good for you in this matter. It will keep you away from other people's conflict and quarrel. It will protect you somehow to make the right decision at the right time. And this is something you have to be mindful of. This the remedy lies in Jupiter or Venus or Saturn. Of course, it will depend on the kind of dasha, antardasha, and pratyata dasha that you're running around this time. And once again, your third house, special attention, because by the virtue of double transit of Jupiter and Saturn, will be greater focus on the third house matters, your efforts, communication. Change is something which is constant. 100%, there is change that is coming between May through October. Either you're changing place, or you're changing job, or you're shifting your residence, right? So that is inevitable in case any of these planets play a role in your dasha and dasha. If not, you would make some changes in your house. You would renovate, you would reconstruct, you would do something there, right? You would also come across a mentor or a guru or someone who you would look up to, and that could be quite good for you, because this way you will get the, of course, wisdom related to Jupiter, and your work ethics and professional action or karma, which is denoted by Saturn. So this is something which will be very helpful for you as far as your work related progress is in the year, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Scorpio ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio ascendants. So what are some of the shifts that are happening for you? The energies are going to be very, very high, sometimes extremely high for the people to deal with those kind of energies, particularly in the second half of the year, as Mars will move out from its stability and enter Leo. This is where we'll experience huge energy shift and at the same time an increase in terms of awareness of people is concerned. This is the most unique video that I am making, considering three important transits: transit of Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter in Gemini, and Rahu and Ketu moving in the axis of Aquarius and Leo, which is your 4 and 10 axis. So putting together, I'm giving you a unique analysis, certain tips and good messages for you in terms of what you can expect through the year. What are some of the houses that are going to be active? Certain remedies that you could have to make the most. And this is how you'll be able to prep yourself, you'll be able to plan yourself over the next couple of months. Let us start with Jupiter here, because Jupiter, he is your second lord and the fifth lord, Dev Guru Brihaspati, your second and fifth lord, the ruler of family, your accumulation, wealth, what you consume, what you eat, and also your fifth lord of future, progress, creativity, unconditional love, and reaching a senior position, reaching an authoritative position. Okay. This Jupiter is making a transit in your eighth house in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter is a Karaka Graha for you. It is a favorable planet for you. It plays a very important role as far as wealth related matters are concerned for Scorpio Ascendants, as far as your future is, as far as your family is concerned. Your second and fifth lord making a transit in the eighth house is a time for you to expand your change. Okay, change is something which is going to be constant, which is going to be sudden, and it will also incline you quite hugely towards hidden knowledge, your interest towards Jyotish sciences, astrology, occult, tarot, or also any kind of research, any kind of scientific research, any kind of educational research could be quite beneficial for you, or any kind of research related to finances, fintech, and of course AI in finance and some of these things, because this Jupiter is going to promote your financial growths, investments, any debts that you take in order to set up or establish a work or a business could see newer opportunities and would try to bring in a sense of stability here. Okay, because while in the eighth house, it will increase your spiritual quotient. So there's a lot of mindfulness work that is happening as far as 2025 is concerned. Because your 4, 8, and 12 axis is going to be pretty active. Because these are the two houses, besides Jupiter being in the eighth house, it will have special drishti or special aspect on your 12th house and on your fourth house, which is the fifth and the ninth aspect of knowledge. Okay, so there will be learning related to spirituality. So you would learn a lot about spiritual practices, how to increase your spiritual quotient, how to increase your, or of course, fix your sleep, and hopefully how to cut down on your expenditure, right? This is something which you have to learn. Otherwise, it'll expand. You'll have to spend a lot, in 2025. So keep your expenditure at check, keep your savings at check, because this year for you is the year of financial management. So there'll be a lot of financial management. There will be a lot of budgeting exercise that you would need to do. A lot of focus on your well-being, on your wellness, on your mental strength is something which is needed. A greater focus towards family. So family, finances, and food. So these are the three things that you could expect. Focus on, right? I mean, I'm going to go give you snippets of your career, work, your health and well-being, your family life, relationship, and also your wealth. So these are the areas I'm focusing on as far as this video is concerned. Okay. Now, this Jupiter will of course expand matters related to the eighth house. So you would also become secretive here. You would like to, not become very self-disclosing to others. See, it could be good or bad for you. So if it is, affecting negatively as far as your relationship is concerned, it's definitely not a good position to be or a placement to be. So make sure, particularly while dealing with your partner, are you hiding something or not? Okay. So this is something which you have to be mindful of. It is for a good reason, then it's okay. If you want to give someone a surprise, it's fine. But otherwise, this could be detrimental as far as your relationship is concerned. This could have a negative impact on your family life, on your well-being related to relationships. So this is something I could expect. So there could be some issue with your family life at home. So you have to be careful. But from a financial stability point of view, this is going to bring in more stability at a financial level, because you would like to, of course, manage your budget, manage your expenses. Um, Jupiter is giving you learning related to 12th house spirituality, which you're applying in your fourth house. So you're using spirituality to make yourself put yourself in a comfortable position so that there is peace at your home. There is some sort of satisfaction at your home. There is mindfulness. There's a greater focus on your mental well-being, and so that you can take up some hobbies, take up some of those things where you have a greater interest. Okay. And of course, this is an excellent year for you to declutter your house. Maybe you could do some reconstruction. You could also deal with some debts during this year. Maybe you take up a loan or you repay a loan which is related to your house. So you might do some of these transactions depending on your ongoing dasha antadasha. That matters. Okay, one opportunity that you have is to fix your sleep during this time. And this is a huge opportunity for you, right? Because Jupiter is aspecting your 12th as well as 4th house. So it wants to bring comfort at your home and also in your bedroom. So these are the two things and messages that you have to strongly understand. As again, giving you a word of caution that if you become secretive, it's fine. If other people come to you to take advice and they're sharing some of the secret information for you or something which is confidential, it is great. So it is going to make you a very good advisor. If you're in the business of consulting, you can grow this year. If you advise people or if they come to you, you could have a greater potential to build your network, to expand your client base. This is how you would read Jupiter's energy. Saturn for you is your third and the fourth lord. Okay, so it is making a transit in the fifth house in Jupiter's sign, in the sign of Pisces. Interestingly, Jupiter Saturn are sharing a quadrant relationship while Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, which is a very good relationship which they're sharing, 4-10 relationship. Okay, so of course, it encourages you to renovate your home, to of course strengthen your family bonds, right? And at the same time, have a supportive environment as far as your family matters are concerned. So this is a very clear message of Saturn. Saturn in fifth house gives mixed results, okay, because it creates a conflict with other people. So you have to be mindful of maybe dealing with your bosses, dealing with your supervisors, and of course people who you're working with. So there could be a higher or a greater chance of conflict situations there. You could have authority issues as far as workplace is concerned over the next couple of years, but this is for your greater good, because if you look at those conflict situations as opportunities, and you move away from a fighting mode or a flight mode. You see, again, moving out from a situation is not the solution, right? Fighting or probably arguing into the situation is again not the solution. So you need to have like a more of a collaborative approach towards it. This way you will be able to build credible relationships and long lasting relationship as far as this particular time period is concerned, because this is going to make you more humble, right? So you would be able to forgive others. Okay. So, and forgiveness is one of the biggest skill, which could channelize your mindfulness, which could make you more strong as far as your ethics are concerned. And of course, it works towards your mental peace. Okay. Because you're able to focus and think about other things. So it makes your thought process work in a better manner. Now, this Saturn's aspecting your seventh house by its third aspect. It is also aspecting your second house by its 10th special aspect. So it has special aspects here. Growth related to relationship, family, finances. So this is going to be the focus of the hour. And these aspects indicate growth. So you will have growth related to certain agreements, your relationships, business, those people who are opposite to you, how you deal with it, and of course, family, wealth, and your consumption. Your eating habits are definitely undergoing a change. Because see, I've made a heart here because by the double transit phenomena, this house is jointly being aspected by Saturn as well as Jupiter. So this will definitely activate all the second house matters for you, your wealth, your finances, and of course, it is a great year for you to start a secondary source of income. Or those who've had a maybe a hold in their income, or of course, if you had a break, this is an opportunity for you to get back on track as far as work opportunities are concerned, because somehow your second house, 11th house, and fifth house is pretty active, because Saturn will have a drishti on the 11th house and the second house as well. So, of course, this growth will come after a significant amount of hard work, because you will have to step out of your comfort zone. This year is about workplace conflicts and stepping out of your comfort zone, right? And this is very clearly seen by the aspect of and the connection of Rahu and Ketu, what they are making in your chart. Okay, so Rahu is moving in Aquarius. Ketu will move in Leo. This will happen in May. So your 4-10 axis is pretty active. So this will make you, really navigate a sense of balance between your family, between your home, and your career aspirations, your actions in the society, things that you wish to do on everyday basis, how you survive, sustain yourself, your career focus. See, Ketu does very well in the 10th house and also in the sign of Leo. Ketu is considered to be gaining directional strength in the 10th house. It goes Digvali, yes, and in the sign of Leo, it does very well because it's a fiery planet. This will bring in newer opportunities, very different opportunities as far as work is concerned. You might pick up a work which could be very different than what you were doing in the past. So this is the kind of opportunity which you have because Ketu is also your co-lagna lord. It's your co-lagnesha and making a transit in the 10th house. So some people might think that Ketu is making a move in the 10th house. Oh, I'll lose my job. Oh, this is like a cut. No, this is not a cut. Rather, it is an opportunity for you to do something very different. If you do it by your choice, you will be in a better position because you're mentally prepared. Otherwise, you will be pushed towards it. And if this cut happens for a sudden reason, in a sudden manner, which leaves you with no choice but to pick up something, then it's a difficult position for you because you haven't planned and you're not prepared for it. So if you start preparing yourself, maybe you want to do something different. It has been there in your mind, and this year or the next year and a half could probably be that time for you to explore that venture because this access itself would ensure that you put yourself out of your comfort zone. Rahu making a transit in your fourth house will not let you settle at one place. You're likely to move. You could move houses, you could move workplace, you could move cities, you could start a new line of work. And if you do it by your own will, you're in a better position, right? You're in a comfortable position. Otherwise, it could be a little bit challenging for you. See, Jupiter is really expanding your eighth house matters, right? Your sense of dealing with change, okay, your spirituality, your hidden knowledge, research capabilities, right? And making you a deep thinker. And it is it has an aspect on Rahu. So it is keeping Rahu under check. Okay. So your decision making is going to be pretty strong. And Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter. So it's a complex, these energies are quite complex. But for you, it is time to step out, go out there in the open and experiment, try out new things. If you don't do it by your own will, you will be pushed into a situation. Maybe you are put into a project or the situation becomes such which could become difficult for you then to deal with some of these energies. So you will really struggle as far as your balance between your personal life and work life is concerned. And this is something you have to be mindful of. Remedy for you is with Jupiter. So any mantras that you use related to Jupiter, either Om Guruve Nama or Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya, or use a Ved Vyasa mantra because Maharishi Ved Vyasa is is one of the gurus and of course very closely related to Jupiter. Probably look up to him, right? So this is something which would really help you. And the deity associated is Lord Shiva. So worship Lord Shiva. We do Rudra Abhishek this year. This could be quite beneficial for you and would have a protective cover for you, a shield for you as far as this particular time period is concerned. Even if it makes you uncomfortable, it is for your greater good. Do a lot of financial management. Please start planning for it because any mantra related to Jupiter or remedy related to Jupiter would ensure that Saturn and Rahu, these two planets, are channelized appropriately for you in the right manner. Include saffron in your daily diet, turmeric in your daily diet. Start adding it to milk and consuming it on a day-to-day basis. So your ninth lord is Moon, which is your Bhagyesha. That's milk. Jupiter is turmeric. So add milk to turmeric and consume it on a daily basis. So Jupiter is aspecting your second house. So you need to consume things related to Jupiter. Read a book, consume knowledge, right? That is the power of Jupiter. And of course, that's how you will leverage to the best of your abilities to deal and navigate yourself through these changing times. And I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius ascendants and what's happening for Sagittarius. This is one of the most unique videos that I'm making, and I'm going to give you insights in terms of your career, work, your love life, your health and well-being, and wealth-related matters as well. So I'm taking 3 transits into account the transit of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu, and how this is going to be playing a role as far as helping you navigate through these changing times and help you prepare very well for what's coming ahead so that you can use the next couple of months for your planning and preparation. So let us begin with your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, Jupiter. And please also remember that whenever all these planets, these four planets change signs, events happen, life events are triggered, cycles are being shifted, certain houses become active, and this is happening. Your Ascendant Lord, Jupiter, is going to be making a transit in the seventh house. So it is finally moving out of the sixth house. Of course, would have been little bit of an uncomfortable time for you or the year for you as far as this particular transit is concerned. But now Jupiter is making a move in the seventh house for you in the sign of Gemini. So what does it do here? Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, and also the fourth Lord. It rules yourself, your body, your overall vitality, your immunity, who you are. It also rules your fourth house, your comfort space, your satisfaction, your level of contentment, okay, and how safe you feel, how secure you feel, your mother and relationship with your mother. Now, Jupiter's influence here would really enhance your communication and networking abilities because this is the house of those people who are opposite to you. So it will bring in a sense of wisdom. It will bring in a sense of wisdom in those interactions, right? And you'll be able to connect with others at a mental level, by the virtue of your wisdom. So knowledge will be the main reason to build these connections. Knowledge, ideas, you would start appreciating with people who bring in more clarity. You would start appreciating those people who are teachers. Okay, you would like to teach others, you would like to get taught. So you would appreciate an environment of learning, which will help you build meaningful connections with people. See, remember Jupiter, whichever house it gets makes a transit, it expands the significator of that house. And whenever ascendant lord goes to the seventh lord comes into the ascendant, it gives many relationships. So see again, it depends on you. If you're already in a relationship and you are expanding your seventh house, it could be detrimental for you. But if you look at meaningful, credible acquaintances, network, working relationships, friendships, close contacts, it is always good for you because, of course, it helps you expand your knowledge horizon. Your ascendant lord going into the seventh house, fourth lord going into the seventh house, it is a yoga in transit. However, from a position point of view, seventh house is not the most comfortable position of Jupiter because Jupiter gains directional strength in the first house, which is eastern direction. Here it gains directional strength. Okay, here it is losing direction. So you will have to put in extra efforts because somehow Jupiter is, you know, going weak here from a position point of view. So you'll have to put in extra efforts. And one of the important aspects for you 2025 is concerned is after May, you have to enroll yourself in a course. You have to learn something new that you can apply to either strike a balance between your work and personal life or your personal growth. So any learning that you take which is related to your personal growth could be very good for you, and this is something which you have to be mindful of, and this is something which you have to take care of. Jupiter is going to be having three aspects, so it will aspect your 11th house, first house, and third house. So when Jupiter is placed in the seventh house, it's a weak placement, but its aspects are very good because firstly it is aspecting your 11th house, which is the house of gain, so it will expand those matters. See, your learning will be related to 11th house matters, which is networking, branding, communication, recognition, being recognized, being widely accepted, increasing your reach. So you will become more expressive. You will like to have a lot of social media presence. So you might like to become an influencer. You would have a greater command over other people. So these are some of the good things you will learn this time in terms of how to be more presentable, how to be more influential, how to negotiate very well, how to have meaningful conversations, how to make new friends. So all of these things. And you're applying it in your third house. So, how this will help you cope up with change? How this will help you maybe not reduce your efforts, but ensure that you're getting the results of the efforts that you're putting because it will help. It is helping you learn. You learn from other people, and you learn from their of course good things and their mistakes as well. And then you ensure that you're not, of course, repeating those mistakes, and you take up those good stuff as well. So it will ensure that at least the efforts that you put will see some results, and you will not shy away as far as putting efforts is concerned. There is definitely relationship karma this year. You have to be careful. So you have to manage your relationship and things at home. So your fundamentals are pretty strong this year because both Jupiter and Saturn are making a transit in your Kendra houses. So at a fundamental point of view, your decision making is going to be pretty strong. So you'll make some key important decisions related to your home and related to your partner or your marriage. In case you've been looking forward to settling down, getting married, having a relationship, this could be an eventful year for you, a fruitful year for you, which could help lay a stepping stone as far as marriage, as far as relationship is concerned. Jupiter is also aspecting your ascendant. See, it is the seventh aspect, which is only 50%. Okay, Jupiter's aspect. But Saturn's aspect is 100%. All right. And this aspect indicates growth. Jupiter's aspect creates a sense of balance. So, a balanced growth is what these two special aspects are giving you as far as your personal life is concerned. See, one thing you have to be mindful of is whenever Jupiter makes a transit or aspects the ascendant, it expands the matter. So, of course, could expand your body, physically is concerned. So, this is something which you have to take care of as far as year 2025 is concerned. So, make sure you have a balanced diet, make sure you have a healthy diet, make sure that you exercise, eat right, and take care of some of those things because Saturn's 10th aspect will bring in a sense of discipline, will help you channelize these energies, and of course, would bring in a sense of discipline in your daily life, and that will grow, that will foster. So you have the opportunity to fix yourself, to manage yourself. And of course, there is the power of labor, which is aspecting your ascendant. There is wisdom that is aspecting your ascendant. So when wisdom and power of labor comes together, and of course, Saturn's also aspecting your 10th house, so from a workplace point of view as well. So this will, of course, make you make very good decisions as far as your job is concerned. So that is something which is expected to change, and be prepared for it. You could also shift your residence as far as this year is, because Saturn in Pisces in your fourth house, which is the second and third lord, would encourage you to engage very deeply with the outer world, with the public. Okay. It will help you build some academic pursuits as well, maybe learn basic fundamentals, right? I'm not talking about advanced learning, but you would like to keep your basic fundamentals clear, or you would like to upskill yourself, reskill yourself, right? For your future endeavors. See, unlearning is very important here. So you need to first unlearn, okay? You need to find out newer ways of doing things because this is the energy of all Rahu, Saturn, and Jupiter. Rahu being in your third house, Saturn being in your fourth house, and Jupiter being in the seventh house. So these planets together are giving you those energies because your third house, first house, seventh, and fourth house are pretty active. So you need to unlearn first, then you need to learn, and then you need to relearn to again have a greater emphasis as far as your future is concerned. So Saturn definitely would help you step out of your comfort zone. Okay, would compress those things here. But of course, if you're shifting your residence, if you're changing your house, it could be a favorable time for you depending on your ongoing dasha, antardasha. Saturn's third aspect is on your sixth house. So it indicates growth related to those house matters. So growth of competition and growth of wellness as well. So you have to be careful of other people. So the next couple of years, so try and stay low key and avoid any bad conflicts there. Okay, or avoid any kind of argument, quarrel amongst people. So you could have some sort of opposition that could be strong. Plus, you will have a lot of focus on your wellness, on your well-being during this time. So make sure you go for a routine health checkup and you try to focus a lot on your vitality and your overall health and well-being because there will be a lot of focus on your body. So this is an opportunity here for you to fix your habits, to focus very much on your mindfulness and your well-being. Okay. There'll also be growth related to first house matters, your body, vitality, and intelligence. And I've already given you a word of caution. Watch your weight, eat right, exercise, and try to again leverage these energies in a way that you're building your mental ability, your intelligence. You're trying to use your brain to its optimum potential. I mean, not even optimum, but at least near optimum potential or the best that you can. from an ability point of view. And you learn and you grow. Saturn's aspecting your 10th house as well, but that's only a 50% aspect. 4 and 10 axis is important here. So definitely there is workplace change that is coming. It's a very good time to declutter your house, bring in a sense of discipline in your house, try to keep things organized. See, Saturn would only improve if you keep things clean. So you need to ensure that your house is clean and not cluttered. Make your Saturn negative. Clean it yourself. Do it. I mean, if you can't do it every day, do it at least once a week, or of course, take some help. You can always do that there. Respect the labor class. Make some donations towards the labor class, towards workers, towards cleaners, towards drivers, towards your servants, towards those people who help you. I would rather use the term helpers. So towards helpers, right, and do something for them to the best of your ability. This is the only remedy that I can recommend you in the year 2025. Now let's talk about Rahu and Ketu, which is activating your 3 and 9 axis journey. So eventually, journey is inevitable as far as this particular time period is concerned. Sorry. So you are likely to go through a journey, that is starting something new or traveling. And if this travel is for spiritual pursuits, this could bring in a sense of joy. If its travel is for dharma, this could really work in your favor. This axis is trying to give you that, the kind of message that you need to really balance the need of being intellectual, your intellect that needs to grow, your social life needs to grow, your communication needs to grow. And of course, you need to have certain personal aspirations as well. Rahu's best placement is third, sixth, and 11th house. Okay. Third and 11th being particularly better than any of the other placements, right? It does very well in these houses. These are Upachaya houses, which indicates growth, and Rahu is hungry for growth. Thankfully, Jupiter is keeping Rahu under check because Jupiter is going to be aspecting Rahu during this transit. Rahu is also aspecting in return to Jupiter. So this will really make you put in a lot more effort. So Rahu is the co-lord of Aquarius, making a transit in your third house here. And this is where any remedy for you as far as mantras, worship, or of course, consumption of food is concerned, any such remedy is concerned, that is from Jupiter. So Jupiter will ensure that it keeps Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn at check. So this is the ultimate remedy for you as far as 2025, regardless of your dasha, antadasha, right? The most simple advice and thing that I could give you is remedy your Jupiter. What, how? Of course, it depends on your chart, whether you need mantra, whether you need yantra, whether you need a lifestyle change, whether you need to donate something, or whether you need to consume something, right? So that it depends on uh, the kind of time period that you're running, and of course, a whole analysis of the horoscope. Ketu, on the other side, is your core 12th lord, making a transit in the ninth house. It creates a cut, whichever house it is. So, Ketu is not very auspicious in the ninth house unless you have a very well disposed Surya or Sun in your chart. This could be a little bit favorable for you, but this will give you shifting tendencies as far as dharma is concerned. So, if you hold on to your dharma, you'll be able to channelize this Ketu appropriately. So, go on spiritual retreat, take a travel, take a break from your life, focus on your mental well being, go out there, connect with the nature. This is how you're trying to pacify Saturn as well as Ketu at the same time. Okay, go out there for a walk. I mean, sit on the grass, and of course spend as much time as you can with the nature. Go to mountains, right? Far off places. This will, really help you have some sort of deep level thinking. Practice yoga or meditation. Practice physical stillness. Okay, I mean, physical stillness meditation is a concept where you stay still for 5 minutes, right? It's quite difficult to do, but that could be the first stepping stone, and then you can focus a lot on mental stillness. So these are some of the tips that I could give you in terms of channelizing Ketu as far as ninth house transit is concerned. So look up to your Jupiter, look up to your Lagna Lord, and if you do that, you're going to have a good year. Otherwise, there could be certain challenges which are coming your way, and I wish you the very best. And now let us talk about Capricorn ascendants and what's happening. I'm making one of the most unique analysis of the year 2025, where I have prepared this simple presentation for you. I hope you find this effective. And I have taken into account the transit of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu. When they are changing signs, events are triggered, right? There are life events that happen. There are cyclical changes. There are huge energy shifts. And of course, certain houses get activated. And this is happening in a gap of couple of months. All these changes are going to come in place. And I hope you find this video useful. I'm going to talk about your career, your health and well-being, your relationship, financial matters, and also try and give you some tips, some remedies, and how you can prepare to the best of your ability. So let's begin with Saturn, who is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, and also the second Lord. Shanidev is going to be moving in Pisces in your third house. So, how to read this transit for you? Okay. Now, this really promotes financial planning and certain stability as far as financial matters are concerned, which could have been struggling because, see, Saturn, whichever house it makes a transit from a cyclical point of view, it does bring some sort of coldness, some sort of compression as far as those house matters are concerned. So, finally, one thing is good if you're a Capricorn moon sign, so it is bringing your Saraswati to an end. It's a sense of relief for you. So, though I don't consider Saraswati to be bad, some people would have grown as well in this time, especially in their last phase, while some would have had challenging time. This depends on your overall horoscope analysis. If Saturn's making a connection with the moon or not, it depends primarily on that factor. But this will also encourage you to lay a foundation as far as future prosperity is concerned, to establish that strong foundation. See, Saturn gives you the power of labor, and that is coming in the third house. Your ascendant lord is making a transit in the third house. Change is inevitable because primarily we see change from the third house. We see efforts, your communication, the way you think, the way you act, your relationship with your co-bonds, your siblings is seen from the third house. Okay, your valor, your courage is seen from the third house. So it is bringing the power of labor in your efforts. So one thing is for sure, next 2.5 years, you will not shy away from putting efforts. You will have a different attitude. You will stop blaming the situation, but you would like to take charge of the situation. You would like to step into the situation and take control. You would like to focus on those things which are in your control. Because when your Lagna Lord is making a transit in the third house, it makes you, definitely more inclined towards putting efforts and even more efforts here. One thing which is good about this transit is anything that you do using your hands. If you bring in discipline, let's say in exercising, working out, which uses your hands, exercising in the gym, writing a journal, or penning down your notes, working in your kitchen, something or the other that you could do, which uses your hands, it will bring in consistency in your life. It will make you a very good learner. Okay, this is also your second lord making a transit in the third house. This will teach you how to better leverage your finances, how to save more money. This will be a greater focus, see, because your expenses are likely to increase as far as the next couple of years are concerned. And I always say when expenses are to increase, our income should also increase. But you need to do this financial management, budgeting exercise here, right? Because both Saturn and Jupiter are jointly aspecting your 12th house. I'm going to talk about that in a bit as well. But expenses are generally going to increase, and you have to save money. You have to better manage your finances. Saturn is going to be aspecting your fifth house by its third special aspect. So it promotes growth as far as your future progress is concerned, as far as children are concerned. So if you've had problems in terms of having a child, or if you had some issues there, this is going to improve. It's going to bring in growth. It's going to bring in growth in your creativity, growth in your love interest, your unconditional love, and of course, your ability to deal with children. So this is going to be, of course, the focus of the hour as it makes a aspect on your fifth house. Saturn's also making a 10th aspect on your 12th house, which is increasing your spirituality, which is, of course, increasing your expenditure, but it will also increase your power to donate as well. So it will give you financial stability so that you can help others eventually. Both Jupiter and Saturn are aspecting your 12th house. Jupiter by the 7th aspect, which is only 50%, Saturn by the 10th aspect. So your 12th house is particularly active all throughout the year. Particularly between May through October, you could feel these effects. So one thing which is quite important for you is go for a regular health checkup. So you could have some hospital visits So make sure that you're focusing a lot on your physical health, right? Of course, your mental well-being as well, because this could be the cause of the stress. But this year, from a health point of view, is not very good. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to exercise, eat right, and of course, fix a lot of things as far as your daily routine is concerned. You need to worry less, right? And you need to take charge of things, take control of things. Okay. See, Jupiter for you is really focusing on your second, sixth, and 10th, which is the Artha Trikona. So your financial acumen, your financial capability. Saturn's also aspecting your ninth house, so bringing in Dharma there. Okay. But your sleep needs to fix. That is an opportunity for you. Jupiter is also aspecting your 10th house and your second house. I'm going to talk about that too. But to summarize, Saturn's transit in Pisces, it will of course make you very much inclined towards efforts. Of course, putting that across, worship Lord Hanuman. He will protect you, of course, and ensure your Mars and Saturn both are channelized in the right direction, in the appropriate direction. And any mantras that you would use in order to channelize these energies, these mantras would be related to Venus. Okay, that would be pretty much prominent for you. Now, let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is your 12th lord and it is also your third lord. It is making a transit in the sixth house. So it is naturally giving you a Viparita Yoga in transit. Okay. Now, situations likely to go adverse. Eventually, you will rise off this situation. Okay. But this could go a little bit adverse as well. It is trying to bring in a sense of balance in your work life, an harmonious balance, because it expands the matter pertaining to the house it is placed. So, of course, it is going to expand job related matters, but it's going to keep you very busy as far as your daily life is concerned. So, you would need to keep a sense of check between your personal and your professional endeavors. This is where you could struggle as far as this year is concerned. So, focus on priorities of your personal life and what matters to you. You have to maybe have some sort of expectation mapping with the people that you work with. Try to set your priorities in a very clear manner in terms of what you would like to do and where you could really not compromise. So do not shy away from it. Otherwise, it could be challenging for you to deal with strong opposition, because this could bring in strong opposition in your life for the next few months or so. This is how you would like to deal with this transit. There is learning related to 10th house matter. So you will learn a lot about your work. So I would highly recommend you to enroll yourself in a course that is pertaining to your workplace, pertaining to your job, pertaining to what you do, some new ways of doing things, upskilling, right? So this is quite good for you. And the application is happening in your second house. So you will apply for wealth creating opportunities. You will apply for the benefit of your family. So this is something which you have to understand during this time, right? So you are learning something related to your work, which could have a direct impact on your income, on your financial gains. This should be the focus of the hour as far as this Jupiter's transit is concerned. Moreover, this is going to also make you spiritual, but you will have a struggle in terms of dealing with these material and spiritual energies. Okay, you need to keep a sense of check in terms of dealing with both material as well as spiritual energies there, because you would not be able to focus on both at the same time. So you need to prioritize what is that you can do in the current times and how you could maybe put your energies in one direction, whether it's spiritual or material. So you can't do both at the same time. This is something which you have to remember and realize during this time. But of course, it's a huge opportunity for you to build your spiritual quotient, to build your spiritual pursuit. There could be good new job opportunities that could come across your way, but you will have to put in extra effort as far as these opportunities are concerned for you. Let's talk about Rahu and Ketu. Okay. So Rahu for you is making a transit in the second house in the sign of Aquarius. It co-rules the sign of Aquarius and it's making a transit here. Ketu is making a transit in Leo in the eighth house. So it's activating your 2-8 axis. I mean, some people have a fear of, when nodes make a transit in these axes and, they consider it to be dreaded. But I have a difference of opinion. So this will work by the virtue of the placement of Saturn and Sun in your natal chart and the kind of connections which they're making, and of course, their influence. Ketu is not bad in the eighth house because it makes you very spiritual. It makes you inclined towards, Ketu is also one of the significator of astrology of Jyotish because it is linked to Lord Ganesh. So if you worship Ganesha and Lakshmi, these are the two ultimate remedies for you as far as 2025 is concerned. It will help you remove obstacles from your life and embrace and attract prosperity. Ketu will definitely increase your research capabilities because it's a fiery planet in a fiery sign and it's very non-materialistic. So it will do that for your personal benefit, how it is personally impacting you. So I'm not saying that you will be able to use these energies for material comfort, for wealth, but your idea of learning would be how it will personally impact you and your decision making, because your decision making could be weak over the next few months. And this is something which you have to focus on. If you're not sure of something, take advice. Take advice of your partner. Take advice of those people who you work with. Take advice of your guru or your mentor because Saturn's making a transit in your third house. So anyone who's elder, take advice of elders during this time. Someone who have wisdom and also someone who's old. That could really be of help. Otherwise, you will struggle, right? Change is inevitable. It could happen in a sudden manner. Once again, you have to focus on your health and well-being during this time, physical health, as a matter of fact. Rahu would like to expand second house matters. So one word of caution is you have to eat right. Okay, avoid any kind of indulgence, overindulgence, because Rahu making transit in your second house would make you inclined towards it. So make sure that you keep, some control. Thankfully, between May through October, it is under the aspect of Jupiter, full Drishti, 100% aspect, and it is going to ensure that Rahu is kept on check. Okay. Now, this will, of course, help you pursue your material as well as spiritual endeavors. But again, you can't balance, so you have to choose one over the other, right? What are the deeper life meanings for you? So important for you because your life purpose, path, and what it really means for you is likely to become more clear. So either it could be through some challenges, because when your 12th house is very much active by the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn, you would like to reflect more. You would like to learn, reflect. You would learn from your mistakes, you will learn from your past failures, and of course the corrective actions that you can take now. So do not shy away from thinking when you planning for your goals or things that you want to do. Always keep in mind and try to understand what is the fear, right? What holds you back? It is most of the time it are those fears, those unknown things. So of course there'll be a fear of unknown, and if you're able to counter that, if you're able to conquer it, then there's a lot of progress for you. You'll put in effort, you'll get the result. You will have massive shifts in your life. But you need to understand firstly what is your fear, what holds you back, and there's no harm in understanding and acknowledging, right? It will help you prepare in a much better manner. Worship Lord Ganesha, worship Ma Lakshmi during this time, and I wish you a very good and a pleasant year. Now let us talk about Aquarius ascendants and what's happening. I expect a lot of events to happen in the second half of the year. Whether these events are good, not so good, of course, depends on the individual chart, your time period, and the kind of dashas that you're running, and the yogas that are getting activated as far as your time period is concerned. This is one of the most unique videos that I'm making, where I would keep into account and take into account the transit of Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, and also Jupiter. And whenever these four planets change signs, events are likely to occur. There are shifts of energies, there are massive shifts, houses get activated, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, and Jupiter. So whenever these planets such as Saturn, Rahu, and shadowy planets Rahu and Ketu make a change, events are likely to happen. And this is something I'm going to explain to you in this video. And of course, I'll give you some remedies, some tips, some tricks, and how to be better prepared. Let us begin with Saturn, who is your ascendant lord as well, your Lagnesha, lord of the ascendant. And for those who are Aquarius moon signs, last phase of Saraswati means there are only the 2.5 years that are left as far as Saraswati is concerned. And this is going to be very important, very instrumental for you. So both for Aquarius ascendant signs and for the Aquarius moon sign, this is going to be an eventful transit of Saturn, which really focuses on the uprise. Okay, so there's an upward trend now in terms of growth, in terms of walking those steps. You've come a long way. Now you need to reach that mountain. You're on the last lap, and of course, you're very clear about the milestone, which is very much visible to you, because this Saturn is going to increase your self-reflection. It is going to bring in personal growth and really make you introspect in a very deep manner. That is something which is encouraging. Your ascendant lord and 12th lord, so it rules yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity. It's your lagna lord, who you are. It's also your 12th lord of your ability to donate, your expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, your self-awareness. It is making a transit in the second house. Lagnesha making a transit in second house is natural dhan yoga or wealth yoga in transit. Your 12th lord making a transit in the second house is a yoga that will support managing your expenses. Of course, it could increase it, but it will support in managing your expenditure as well. Saturn in Pisces, your ascendant lord making a transit in the second house, will of course put a greater focus on financial well-being, financial wellness, and your self-reflection to create a secondary source of income or new sources of income. Okay, so this is something which you have to be mindful of as far as this particular Saturn's transit is concerned. One thing that you have to avoid during this time is because this could bring in a lot of coldness in your speech. Okay, so see, understand the energies of Rahu, Saturn. So Rahu is making a transit in your ascendant. Okay, so it will, of course, make you live in a world of illusion. Thankfully, this Rahu is in its own sign of Aquarius and it is being aspected by Jupiter. It will maybe make you live in a world of illusion. It could affect your decision making momentarily. But Saturn here is, of course, bringing some sort of coldness in your speech. So this is something which you have to keep in check. So make sure that you take care of it. Okay, make sure that you're leveraging these energies. Make sure that you're taking a well thoughtful decision. And of course, you take into account each parameter and of course the consequences, and you of course take into account all the pros and cons while deciding. If you're not sure, take advice, take support of others. This is going to help you in this way. Okay, now this Saturn's aspecting your fourth house by its third aspect of desire, of growth. And this third aspect, okay, would ensure that their growth related to your home comforts and property. So of course, if there's new investment in real estate, you can make it. There could be financial growth as well, or you would like to do some changes in your house. So you would definitely do some sort of renovation over the next 2 years, massive changes in your house, big renovations, big shifts. You might also change residence over the maybe most likely in 2025, if not 2026. So that is also a huge possibility, making a shift. And of course, for those people who are looking forward to continue or maybe building up more, so you have an opportunity to increase your assets, your property, your real estate. Okay, so this is something which you could understand from Saturn's transit. It is also aspecting your 11th house by the 10th aspect of growth again. So gains, recognition of all kind, friends, network, expanding your influence, and of course, doing all of that. And this house is jointly aspected by Jupiter and Saturn. So 2025 is very important for you for material gains, material comfort, material growth, right? So this is something which is quite instrumental for you as far as this particular time period is concerned. And both Saturn and Jupiter are going to make this a priority for you. And this is something you have to watch out for. This is something which you have to be mindful of. It's an opportunity year for you, without a doubt. Between May through October, it is the time to work, it is the time to create wealth, it is the time to attract wealth, and it is the time to put your power of labor, that is Shani, that is Saturn, in creating multiple sources of income. I would not say just one, but multiple, because Rahu would definitely give you expansive tendencies while it is in the ascendant being aspected by Jupiter. So it is an eventful year for you. It is an important year for you. Let us talk about Rahu and Ketu. What is happening? First and seventh house axis is where Rahu and Ketu are transiting. See, Rahu is your co-lagna lord. It's your co-lagnesha. So it's an important planet for you. And it is sitting in the ascendant. In case you have a strongly disposed Saturn in your chart, And if Rahu is making connections, good yogas, this the next 18 months could be remarkable for you, could be full of events, particularly focusing on your personal hygiene, personal well-being, and of course your intelligence, your knowledge, your buddhi. There'll be a lot of focus on that, your body, your vitality. In case Saturn and Rahu are weak or afflicted, then this could be a little bit challenging for you. Ketu is your co-10th lord making a transit in the 7th house. It is supporting business opportunities. You need to support your partner needs to support you. So there is some relationship karma over the next 18 months. So Ketu gives separative tendencies here. So this is something which you have to be mindful of, okay, and a little bit careful as far as the next 18 months. But this will depend on your dasha antardasha, whether Ketu is playing a role or not. But yes, from a business point of view, this could be a favorable time. Try to leverage, channelize the energies of Ketu appropriately. Remedy is in Jupiter. So if you use mantras related to Jupiter, any remedy related to Jupiter, that will keep both Rahu and Ketu in check and will help you channelize it appropriately. I'm going to come to Jupiter as well, but Ketu again, gives and brings in some sort of expansive tendencies. Of course, it creates a cut, it creates separation, it creates a sense of isolation from that matter. So you might want to isolate yourself from other people, from those people who are opposite to you. But Rahu there would have conflicting energies. It would want to expand. It would want to, meet up with as many people as it wants. So this is the kind of conflict which is there. So this would more or less depend on how you leverage and channelize these energies and look up to Jupiter as far as remedial measures or matters are concerned. But one thing is sure that there's relationship karma, there's partnership karma. Be very careful while signing agreements, while signing contracts, while of course signing some important paperwork. Read through the documents and make sure that you understand each and every aspect as far as the terms and conditions are concerned. These are the kind of energies that you could expect as far as Rahu Ketu's 1 and 7 axis is concerned. So there is transformation of yourself and your relationship, partnership, which could be quite active. For those who are likely to start new businesses, this could be potentially favorable time because your core 10th lord is making a transit in the 7th house. In case your dasha antardasha is supportive, this Ketu could actually support you during this time. So there is expression, there is a sense of balance that you need to have between your self-expressions, personal in relationships, and the need of bringing harmony in your life. This is the kind of calling which you must understand during this time. Let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is your 11th lord and it is also your second lord. So for Aquarius ascendants, Jupiter plays a very important role in wealth related matters. And just Jupiter is making a transit in your 5th house in the sign of Gemini. This will really expand a lot of opportunities for you as far as learning, creativity is concerned, and will give you a diverse range of interests. So you would like to be interested in learning a number of things, your hobbies, and of course, those things which could bring you a source of income because this is a natural dhan yoga in transit. Your second lord and your 11th lord making a transit in the first house. This is wealth for future. So you're likely to have a rise in your income. So if you're expecting an increment, there could be a good increment in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. In case you're expecting a new source of income, there could be a good source. This could help you really, channelize these energies appropriately and at the same time focus on what is working well for you to the best of your abilities. And this is what you could expect energies of Jupiter in the 5th house. Now, this Jupiter is making a 5th special aspect to your 9th house. Okay, so 9th house, you will have learning related to 9th house, which is higher learning, spiritual education. Your dharma will be put at good use. Okay, so this is something which you must understand as far as this particular time period is concerned, because there will be a lot of learning related to 9th house matters. You need to stick to your dharma, you need to hold on to your dharma, and of course, protect your dharma. And there will be application in your first house because this is the ninth special aspect of Jupiter. So your dharma trikona is very much active. Your 159, your fundamentals will be very clear. Your dharma will be very clear as far as this particular time period is concerned. And this is something which you have to be mindful of, which you have to be, of course, very much focused towards as far as this particular time period is concerned. You need to hold your dharma, and whatever you will learn, any higher learning you will apply for your personal development, for your personal growth. there'll be greater focus on your health and well-being. Because see, whenever Jupiter makes an aspect on the ascendant or placement in the ascendant, it really expands your body as well. So you need to watch out your weight, eat right, exercise each and every day, and make sure that you have a healthy, balanced diet as far as year 2025 is concerned. Otherwise, this could be a little bit struggling for you in terms of managing yourself and, of course, your body as well. So, this is something which you have to be mindful of as far as this particular year is concerned. Definitely, Jupiter is going to expand matters related to fifth house. So, there will be greater focus on children. Those who are wanting to have children or more children. So, of course, this is a favorable cycle for you, which could activate these energies. Future expansion. This is going to give you future wealth related expansion. So, you need to do a lot of financial management, budget management, cutting down your expenditure, and of course, thinking about creating new or additional sources of income because this time period calls for financial prosperity, material life, because your 11th house is absolutely very much active by the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn. They are jointly aspecting your 11th house. So expand your network, influence people, create a good sense of impression on other people, and continue to focus on a diverse range of interests. So in case you have a strongly disposed Mercury in your chart, this could be a favorable transit for you. This could be a very much favorable year for you. Primarily, the remedy for you would be related to Jupiter this year or Mercury, which is your fifth lord. So either of the two could give you remedy for ensuring that you keep the Rahu and Ketu in check and you manage the first seven energies or the axis, which is very opposite in nature because this is creating a lot of conflict as far as this particular axis is concerned. This needs to be kept into account. Worship Lord Shiva during this time because Jupiter is making a transit in your fifth house. Jupiter is the significator of the fifth house. So, from that aspect, it is quite a positive transit from a financial standpoint. Okay, because both Jupiter and Saturn are giving you Dhan Yogas. Over the next couple of years, you could see a significant improvement in your financial position. Your health and well-being will improve because you will eat good food. There will be changes in your diet. You would like to bring in a sense of discipline in what you consume, what you eat, which will foster your health, which will foster your well-being. But Rahu's energies could, of course, make you indulge in certain things. That's something which you have to keep a check of, otherwise it could be detrimental towards your health and well-being. So keep that in check, and of course focus on doing what is right for you, what is in the best interest for your health and your well-being. Now let's talk about Pisces ascendants and what's happening with Pisces ascendants. There are some big shifts that are happening as far as planetary energies are concerned. So I'm making a very unique video taking into account Saturn's transit, Rahu and Ketu's transit, and Jupiter's transit. So here I'm going to take into account all of these four planets, Saturn, Jupiter, and the shadowy planets Rahu and Ketu, because whenever they change signs, and all of them are changing signs in 2025 within a period of 2 to 3 months, this creates shift of energies, this activates cycles, and of course, this creates life events. This triggers life events which are likely to occur over the next few months. And what you could do, certain tips that you could take from this video, what are the houses that are getting activated, what are the remedies for you as Pisces ascendants, I'm going to talk about that. Let's begin with your ascendant Lord Jupiter. Lord of the ascendant, it also rules your 10th house. So it rules yourself, your body, your personality, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your intelligence. It also rules your 10th house of work, your karma, your actions in the society, what you do to survive, sustain yourself in this world. And of course, it plays a very important role for you because it's your Lagna Lord and your 10th Lord, two Kendras. And Jupiter is making a transit in your fourth house in another Kendra. So one thing which is interesting for Pisces ascendants and all the dual signs, both Saturn and Jupiter are making transit in Kendra houses. So your decision making is going to be very strong. And Jupiter and Saturn share a quadrant relationship. They share a 4-10 relationship here or a 10-4 relationship as far as this particular year is concerned, which is quite favorable, which is the best sambandha that these two planets can have, which is the natural rulers of dharma and the karma houses. Okay, so Jupiter's transit for you is trying to bring in financial opportunities, is of course helping you facilitate a lot of networking, a lot of ideas, and at the same time, it is enhancing your communication because it is going to make you a lot more self expressive. Fourth house is the house of public. Okay, besides being the house of mother, homeland, we see public from fourth house. So 10th house is the house of work, and of course, those who we work with is seen from the fourth house itself, so the 410 axis. So it will make you very expressive. It will make you generate a lot of ideas. So you'd like to become like an idea generator because we see ideas from the fourth house. We see fundamental knowledge, fundamental education is seen from the fourth house, which is the primary education. All the schooling is seen from the fourth house. So this will, in some way, put you back to school to build your fundamentals. So you would want to look back at some of your decisions, of course, reflect on your past knowledge and leverage from your previous knowledge to improve your current work. And in this video, I'm going to talk about your career, I'm going to talk about love, relationship, your wealth, and of course, a little bit on health and well being as well. So, this is something I'd be sharing with you. Now, Jupiter here is not a very, again, a bad placement for Jupiter because it's making a transit in the Kendra houses. It's your Lagna Lord. It is forming a yoga in transit. Okay. And it is going to focus a lot on bringing stable financial opportunities for you to expand your communication and, of course, a greater sense on your personal well being. Certain things that you would like to take up, which you're interested in, your hobbies, your interests, because it's your 10th Lord making a transit in the fourth house. You would like to create a sense of balance between your personal and professional life. See, Jupiter is anyway making a connection with your 10th house. If you see, by the virtue of double transit, both Jupiter and Saturn are aspecting your 10th house. So, workplace related change and growth this year is inevitable. You are definitely getting some sort of growth as far as work, job, profession, business is concerned in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. This period is going to put you in a better place. So be prepared for a lot of work related changes as far as the next few months are concerned. You need to be absolutely prepared for it. Now, Jupiter is aspecting your eighth house by its fifth special aspect, special drishti. So there is learning related to eighth house matters. So you will learn about occult, Jyotish, astrology, any hidden subjects. You would like to do research. You would like to, conduct and of course learn a lot. You would like to deep dive into subjects. Whatever you learn, you would like to deep dive in it to understand the real meanings and of course feelings as well. And this will be quite instrumental for you to get an overall self awareness because you will apply in the 12th house, which is your self consciousness, which is your self actualization. We also see 12th house as the house of great potential, okay, of what you can do, what you can give into this world. So it will make you very much philanthropic. You would like to donate to others, you would like to help to others, you would like to share your knowledge with others. Whatever secrets you learn, you uncover, you do a research, then you would like to share that research with others. So, for example, if you're in academics, you might write research papers, you might work on patents, you might uncover, discover new things. And that is something which will give you huge recognition because you would like to share it. If you're some a technical expert, you might work on some very breakthrough discoveries during this time in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. So make sure that you use these energies because this could give you recognition in public. Okay, so this is something which is an opportunity for you and how you can capitalize on this opportunity. Jupiter is aspecting your 12th house by its ninth special aspect. Of course, there's a greater focus on donations, on helping others, on, of course, giving what you can, and at the same time, working to focus on your sleep because your sleep could be disruptive over the next few months, and that is something which you have to focus on for your own health and well-being. Otherwise, you can have some health issues during this year. So, health and well-being is going to be the focus of the hour as far as this particular transit is concerned. Thankfully, Saturn is going to bring in a lot of discipline in your life, a greater sense of purpose, a greater sense of focus, and of course, would make you, I mean, you might get these cold energies as well, so it might make you cold, but at the same time, you need to focus on expanding and working on your Jupiter so that you're recognized out in the open. Jupiter is going to expand your assets, your comforts, any real estate investment that you make could be quite fruitful for you. So you could build assets during this time. All matters, vehicles, properties, real estate. So this could be particularly favorable time for these matters or pursuits. Saturn on the other side is making a transit in your ascendant. So welcome Shani Dev in your ascendant. It is Maran Karaka position for it, which means a death-like position. So this, of course, Saturn loses significance here. So you'll have to work very hard this year. Okay, if you have to bring in discipline in your life, you'll have to work very hard towards it. You could have shifting tendencies. You might procrastinate things. You might delay things. Okay, this could bring in a lot of slowness in your life. So you'll have to put in extra efforts. Make sure that you're prepared for it. Do not shy away from putting efforts. See, Saturn is your 11th lord and your 12th lord. It's more of a neutral planet for you. So 11th lord rules your gains. 12th lord rules the ability to help others. It also rules your expenditure. So a lot of expenditure is coming in ascendant. Put your expenditure on good things, on good deeds, on dharma, on other people, and of course your family. Work towards your family. If you consciously increase your expenses towards your family matters, this will be beneficial for you. So cut down on irrelevant expenditure, cut down on your impulsive buying decision, impulsive shopping, and try to incur expenditure on good things. Do good for elders. Donate towards elders, old age homes, to old people, elder people, to labor class, to helpers, to workers. These are the kind of donations you need to make this year. It is an ultimate remedy for you, which is going to help you all the while. Of course, you will have to work very hard because Saturn somehow loses the significance as far as first house is concerned, but this will eventually bring in a sense of discipline. If you've been trying to focus a lot on your physical well being, this could be your time to put your routine back on track of exercising, eating right, and of course, going to the gym and hitting those weights and and of course achieving those goals, or at least working closer towards achieving those goals. Saturn's aspecting your third house by its third special aspect, which indicates growth related to matters of third house, growth of your valor, growth of your change. Okay, so change is inevitable. You will change either your job, or you could also change your residence or your place where you live. At least you will do some sort of work, good work in your home, right? If it's a good renovation, you would like to do that. And this will also make you more courageous. See, the third house also indicates journey. So you would likely to travel, go on short journeys. Um, in case you already live outside of your home country, you're likely to do some real estate investment there. So you're likely to build some asset, because we see third house as building a house outside of your homeland as well, because it's fourth from your 12th house. And your 12th house already will also have Rahu making a transit. For those people who are planning to move abroad, settle outside, this could be a favorable time for you. Okay, because Jupiter somehow is also supporting work related trips or growth, and at the same time fundamental knowledge, fundamental education. Saturn's also aspecting your 10th house by its special aspect. So workplace related growth, workplace related progress is inevitable. Both Jupiter and Saturn are supportive. If not anything, your decision making is going to be good. Look up to Jupiter, remedy related to Jupiter, hold on to Jupiter, trust your wisdom, trust a sense of knowledge. Your decision needs to be driven by your knowledge and your wisdom, and a little bit of maturity there. Okay, so you'll make very good decisions as far as work is concerned, and you will get new opportunities. Sometimes I won't be surprised that you might have like two or three jobs, offers at the same time or opportunities at the same time, which you will have to select, and that could cause a sense of conflict in case your dasha antardasha is supportive during this time. But this will not come easy for you. You will have to work very hard. So let's talk about Rahu and Ketu. Okay. Now, before that, Saturn is also aspecting your seventh house, but that's only a 50% aspect. So some relationship karma is also there. There could be delay as far as relationship matters are concerned. And any which way, when Saturn's making a transit in the ascendant, it brings slowness in your life. So, of course, things could be delayed. You may not get the desired result at the time that you want. You will still get the result, but not within that stipulated time frame. So, you'll have to have patience, perseverance, build your resilience, and of course, the ability to get back on track. Rahu and Ketu, it is activating your 12th and 6th axis. Okay, so trying to balance your emotions and social interactions, and of course, creating a sense of harmony between your spiritual life and your personal life, your daily routines and your spiritual quotient, your higher self consciousness as well. Ketu does very well in the sixth house, on spiritual matters. See, Ketu is your core ninth lord. And if it is making a transit in your sixth house, this is the time to defeat your enemies, overcome opposition. Lord of Dharma is coming in the sixth house of daily routine. So it will help you overcome your enemies and defeat your enemies by good decision making. So any competitive activities that you engage yourself in, this could be benefited for you. Your bhagya will be favorable in jobs. You need to have a lot of decluttering, decleansing in your daily life. We also see Shadaripu or six enemies of the mind from the sixth house. So you need to practice meditation, okay, to unleash your potential, right? Work on your mind, of course, to expand the potential. It has huge, unlimited potential. And this is something which you have to foster. So it is going to definitely make you a lot more spiritual as far as this particular time period is concerned. See, even Jupiter's aspect, Jupiter is in the fourth house. Special aspects are in the eighth house and 12th house. So your 4, 8, 12 axis and your sixth house, Ketu, is pretty active. 4, 8, 12, and 6. These houses are very active. It's a very spiritual time for you. Spiritual growth is inevitable. And if you grow spiritually, it will ensure that your Rahu is channelized very well. So Rahu is your core 12th lord making a transit into 12th house. It could bring foreign visits. It could increase your expenditure. But Jupiter is trying to keep this Rahu under check because Jupiter is aspecting this Rahu. So at least for more than half of the transit, it is under Rahu's aspect. Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter in return. Okay. But Jupiter's aspect is stronger. So it wants to foster your ability to donate others, help others. And of course, I have mentioned that from a remedial point of view, what is that you must do as far as this particular time period is concerned. Leverage that sense, practice yoga, sadhana, meditate, and Rahu gives mixed results as far as 12th house is concerned. So this will depend on your natal placement of Saturn and how this is placed in your chart and the kind of dasha antardasha that you're running through. Avoid any kind of indulgence. Okay. If you work with foreigners, people from other cultures, other background, you're likely to get some benefit from these people. You're likely to increase your database if you work with people from other countries or other cultures. And this is how you'll be able to influence those people and get some benefits from those people. If you were to make a move abroad, travel to a foreign land, maybe it could be a stepping stone for you to obtain a permanent position or a permanent settlement because your 12th lord is making a transit in your ascendant and Rahu is making a transit in the 12th house. So next 18 months, because your 4th house is also active, Jupiter will also go in the 5th house later towards the end of the year for a brief period and then in 2026 as well. So next 18 to 24 months could be quite significant for you to make a move abroad. And this could be for work related reasons. Health need a constant check. So you need to focus on ensuring that you go for a routine health checkup. You keep your health at check, particularly um, look after any digestive issues that could cause during this time. So drink plenty of water, make sure that you keep yourself hydrated. There's a lot of fire that's perhaps there, and you need to keep your health at check. So liver related issues, digestive issues. So these are some of the things that you have to be mindful of. Eat right, exercise, drink plenty of water, and try to stay focused on your health and well-being. Work related progress is inevitable if you work on your personal development all through the year and take very good decisions. This is a time for you to decide and be very decisive. In case you're not sure, take a suggestion from someone who's old, someone who brings in some wisdom, some experience. That person could really guide you and support you. And that could be a colleague or someone at workplace as well. Those people could really help you, support you in making decisions. Your environment at workplace is likely to improve. You're likely to build very good relationship with people who you work with, and I wish